with the power of the saber blade. Lost in the rhythm of the galaxy, lost in the rhythm of my mind, watching and waiting, hiding in the crowd, fired up for what I'm gonna find. Dark voices calling from another world, tells me to leave it all behind. Hyper on adrenaline and ecstasy, another fix is scared to go outside. Better run, better hide, cause I'm coming for you tonight. Gotta scream, gotta bleed, with the power of the saber blade. With the power of the saber blade. With the power to destroy, we'll touch the rainbow stars tonight. In the moonlight shining, take them all out from behind. In the lights now blinding, so slice them all, dice them all, born to vaporize them all. Now feel the everlasting power of the saber blade. High pulsing energy within my sword, take them down the reason of the way. Feeling like a hurricane about to blow, here it comes exploding in your face. Do what you will, I'll take it to the edge, I will follow every move you make. Pounding with the power of a raging bull, lost for another word to say. Better hide, better run, it's a major malfunction. Don't you go to your knees, with the power of the saber blade. With the power of the saber blade. With the power to destroy, we'll touch the rainbow stars tonight. In the moonlight shining, take them all out from behind. In their eyes now blinding, so slice them all, dice them all, born to vaporize them all. Now feel the everlasting power of the saber blade. Outside the new sun rising, no way to even stand. Passed out, there was no warning, wait for the outstretched hand. My soul will always find you, no matter where you are. You're always near but not so far from the saber blade. With the power of the saber blade. With the power to destroy, we'll touch the rainbow stars tonight. In the moonlight shining, take them all out from behind. In their eyes now blinding, so slice them all, dice them all, born to vaporize them all. Now feel the everlasting power
Can I just say, Metallica's Saint Anger is the biggest piece of shit album that one could listen to simply based off the production of the album, but the songs themselves are actually pretty good. It's amazing, man. Everybody else plays Saint Anger songs better than Metallica does. AEW Dynamite. Man, oh man, what happened, man? It's like night and day. Are we sure this is the same company? What a show tonight, man. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, tremendous main event. Then out comes Bryan Danielson. Oh my goodness, man. My heart skipped a beat. Don't tell me TK's giving us Danielson and Ospreay, man. Oh my God. Kazuchika Okada. I already see some geeks online complaining about the debut. We're gonna talk about it tonight. I actually enjoyed it. And Kenny Omega fired from AEW. Fired because he got ill. What terrible bosses those young bucks are, man. Ladies and gentlemen, bruv, we're going to the OTS venue. I'm walking downstairs into my mother's basement. Jesse's not here because he's somewhere in Chicago in some ridiculous looking penthouse. He's too good for the venue on Wednesday nights, man. You know what? He don't have the beverages that we got in the venue. They're cold, properly made, and when I get there, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking. Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for March 6th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Wednesday night, wherever you may be. You know, it's a funny thing, man. Cal in the chat got benched immediately before the doors opened, because he thought Jesse is in here. Jesse! Yo, where are you, bro? Oh, there he is. Look at him. Oh, man, he's from the penthouse. Oh, man. Cal! I don't know where you're getting your information from, bro, but Vince McMahon's no longer here, man. Go take a walk.
Well, good thing for Cal, he was gonna listen because I wasn't here. Well, now he can go away and he can't chat here either. The fuck out of here, bro.
Unbelievable. You know, when I ask everybody what the fuck they're drinking, you know, the answers that I get back, man, are very bizarre. Look at that. Look at that. Chucky's
said a hot toddy.
Who the fuck's drinking? Listen, bro. We don't listen.
80?
Listen, man. A hot toddy. I got to be honest, man. A hot toddy is on the menu anywhere I go, man. It's crazy. Some people like it. I don't really dig it, but that's just me. It is very bizarre, man. Look at some of these answers. You got water, which is fine. That's fine. I'm drinking some seltzer. Then we got Chucky's Blood, Canada Dry, almond milk. I don't know who drinks almond milk. Sangria. One guy says Sky Blue's bathwater. No, bro, that's not on the menu, okay? And pomegranate juice. I mean, it's all over the place, bro. It's all over the place.
Don't say bathwater. Selena Vega will publicly trash you for wanting to drink Sky Blue's bathwater, bro. First off, did anybody get booed tonight? Because we got to come to their defense online.
Of course they got, but Okada got booed tonight, man.
Okada got booed. What the? Bro, how can they boo Okada like this? He works so hard.
I don't know.
He works so hard.
Listen. We are going to have a great show tonight. We already got a $100 super chat from my guy.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy, man. Yo, get this guy a hot toddy, man. Jason Barker with a $100 super chat. How's it going? I'm in a good mood this Wednesday night after what I saw tonight. I know tonight was great, but it's up to TK to ride the momentum and take it to new heights. I hope he does the same to Collision and Rampage. Jason Barker, thank you so very much, brother, for the 100 in super chat before we even open the doors to the OTS venue. And we are going to get right into that. And in all seriousness, all joking aside here, let me put on my normal JD face here and not amp it up here. Revolution. Jesse and I did Revolution. We, I think, gave probably some of the best upfront, direct Revolution post-show coverage that there was in the community, man. I think we nailed it. We were live for almost 3 hours, and I thought that was great. Coming on into tonight's show, Dynamite, I was very excited about it because Tony Khan has set this brand up for a tremendous month of March. And it started with Revolution, bleeds into Atlanta tonight. Go Braves. And tonight's show, Jesse, there were things that gave it a fresh coat of paint. There were things that they did tonight that they were not doing previously, which I'll get to in a second. The show flowed tremendously from top to bottom, from beginning to end. We got some great wrestling on tonight's show. Literally, everything that happened on the show mattered.
Yes.
And I can't remember the last time that an AEW Dynamite had every segment on the show that mattered. And the reason why I say that is because on Sunday night when we were live, I said with the inclusion of AEW Dynasty, which is their new pay-per-view concept, April 21st from St. Louis, their new pay-per-view Dynasty, we have 5 weeks till that pay-per-view. And I said the shorter weeks in between pay-per-views is going to give us better television. It's going to give us more consistent television, compact television. Things are going to matter. They have to matter a little bit more instead of Tony Khan booking a random show that doesn't matter because he's got 10, 12 weeks in between a pay-per-view. Everything mattered tonight. And why I say this is because from the word go, we got an AEW Dynamite that gave us a new set. We got a new logo. We got Tunnels back, which is their OG staple from day one, which really set them apart visually from any other promotion that's on TV here in North America. We got a new theme song. And then the show, Jesse, started off with an in-ring segment. Didn't start off with a match. It started off with an in-ring promo that led to an interruption by the Undisputed Era Kingdom. And it led to an impromptu match to open the show. And then after that, we went to Brian Cage and Hook for the FTW title. And we got a fucking video package that highlighted why the match was taking place. I said on Twitter, I'm like, am I watching something out of the Twilight Zone here? It's like they've grown up. Now, I will say this, and I wish you guys can, I got chills because this is what we've been asking for. Now, I don't think they're specifically listening to us, but man, oh man, we've been the flag bearers for that type of change for years. And to see it play out on television tonight, which I took great pride in because it's something that I've been stating, you've been saying here on the show. It's almost as if they're finally getting it together. But 1 week is 1 week. It's not going to be, oh my God, they changed for the better. If they continue to do what they did tonight on Wednesday nights into week 2, week 3, week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they got everything down that they need to really present as far as Dynamite is concerned, bro. Tonight's show was tremendous.
Fantastic, man. You know, so I'm always thinking about that approach of this is one night. They gotta nail it consistently. They gotta keep doing it and everything else. I'm gonna change this up a little bit this week. I'm gonna stay in the moment because at the moment right now, I feel like this is a whole new company.
Yes.
Now, I know this is 1 week, so for anybody, I mean, relax. I get it. It's 1 week. I'm just reading into the vibe that they're giving us. He told us we have a brand new, fresh look, and we got that fresh look, new logos, new design, new entrance. It looks fresh. I do like it. I like all of it. It looks fantastic. They got more digital boards, all that stuff. I'm liking it. We get Big Business next week. We're all looking forward to that. We all know what's coming there. So I'm looking at what we got right here and what we got coming up next week. This week was a fantastic show, man. I mean, this is, if we get television shows like this every week, I promise you, no one will have a leg to stand on when they say that there's no storytelling and that there's no this and that there's no that. This should be the blueprint. Tonight's show should be the blueprint of what a TV show, a live TV show from AEW should look like. We come here, and I know the trolls and everyone else is get their keyboards out, and they get their Google it fucking shirts on, and they're ready to start fucking shitting on it. But the thing is, they did right. And when we come on here and we fucking give them shit for when they don't do right, they deserve it. But when you put on a show like this, bro, they don't deserve well, let's see if they can keep it going. Well, what about this? Bro, they nailed it tonight. So we're going to give fucking credit where credit is due because tonight was a fantastic AEW Dynamite show.
Yeah. And like you said, perfectly said, tonight was the blueprint, no pun intended, to Sasha Banks or Mercedes.
Right.
Tonight was the blueprint for what they need to do going into next week and beyond. And I knew, you knew, a lot of people knew that they were capable of getting across this type of show instead of a chaotic 2 hours where things are just thrown onto the show that don't matter, that don't mean anything for the sake of putting matches on television because they're the alternative and pro wrestling and all this other nonsense. This is exactly what they're capable of if they all put their heads together and really sit down and say, what do we need to do to showcase how great this company is? Everybody must have a point if everybody's complaining about the same thing, and here they are making the appropriate changes. Whether that, criticism was coming from us, whether that criticism was coming from the Solid Monster, whether that criticism was coming from someone like O'Shea Jackson, who Tony Khan publicly, interacted with on social media in regards to the complaints that we had. I know he's getting a lot of the credit because we're not O'Shea Jackson. We're not related to Ice Cube. So
I don't give a fuck. I just want good fucking wrestling show.
I mean, that's all we asked for. So the blueprint tonight, I don't know who the fuck is listening. You take what you did tonight and apply it to every single show that happens from this point on. And nobody, it's not going to be perfect. There will be complaints. Why this didn't make sense, why that's on television. There will still be complaints. No show is a perfect show. But tonight was the best start, the best way for Tony Khan to come out of Revolution and really begin this new era, this new chapter of AEW with Ospreay now there full-time, Okada there now full-time. Adam Cole's on the verge of getting back healthy 100%. MJF is going to be back sooner rather than later, back to 100%. Kenny Omega is going to be back on TV, which we'll talk about in a little bit because his name was mentioned and placed in a major storyline tonight. So I'm assuming that they are expecting him back soon or whenever. Yeah. But man, this roster is looking unbelievable. It looked unbelievable even with the injuries. Imagine Tony Khan operating at 100%, man. This entire month of March, and he stated it's going to be the biggest year in AEW history. They got a TV rights deal coming up. I mean, they're firing on all cylinders right now, man. I hope they do not let up on the gas here.
Yeah, man. I'm expecting. I'm always expecting something big, but I'm really anticipating a big summer. I'm thinking about a big summer and all culminating all at All Out 2 over in London. I think it's technically All Out 3. But I think they get everything in place to make this literally, just a knockout summer for AEW with the women's division. We've been talking about the women's division possibly taking off this summer. Mercedes Moné coming in, Deonna Purrazzo, Toni Storm hitting her goddamn stride. Britt Baker is still hovering around somewhere waiting to make her comeback. Serena Deeb is about ready to do big things. This should be the summer for the women of AEW. And with tonight's episode, it looks like that the tag team division and the main event title story and everything else around it is also getting ready to pick up, man. I mean, with Okada coming in, Ospreay making his mark here and everything else, I think AEW is about to be in for a fantastic summer. This could be a pretty big year for them, man.
Yeah, it has to be a big year because they want to maximize as much as they can from Warner Brothers Discovery to get the biggest deal that they can, and I'm sure they'll be very well off there when that does happen. Dynamite seems to be on the right track. I don't know how this translates to Collision. I've given up completely on Rampage. I don't even think it's worth anybody's time, honestly. So it's just Dynamite and Collision. I don't know how this translates to Collision. They kind of let you in on a little bit of what's happening on Collision Saturday. There really isn't anything major happening there. Okada and the Bucks will be there because that's the new thing now. We'll get to that in a little bit later. But I was very pleased with what they did tonight. And Tony Khan is listening to the criticisms. I said this on Saturday, or Sunday rather, after Revolution. He gets a lot of shit. He's handled Sting's retirement perfectly. He's handled Sting's 3 years in AEW perfectly. When the man listens to criticisms, he listens to the criticisms and tries to fix the criticisms. But he always falls back on his sword. He always goes back and makes the same mistake over and over again. It's almost like they lose focus completely. And it kind of reminds me of a pitcher that, we all know his best stuff is his fastball, and he's going to his breaking stuff, and it's not working, and he's getting hit hard. Tony Khan knows what his best pitch is. He's got a great team now surrounding him. Utilize them. This is going to be a tremendous spring and summer for AEW. I'm very excited about what's to come, and tonight really solidified that for me, as long as they can keep it up. This is not us celebrating. This is just happiness from Jesse and I that everything that we've legitimately complained about for basically, I don't want to say it's been major complaints for all 5 years, but, we've dabbled in these criticisms for well over 2 years now.
Since Cody left.
Since Cody left. And
Brandy, yep.
And Brandy, yes. And then with Punk getting fired and everything just kind of went to shit, things just felt off. They felt off. It's not difficult to see. If you don't see it, you're blind. Honestly, in my genuine opinion, you're blind, and you don't really want to admit that your favorite wrestling company in North America is having some sort of problems because you want it to be so perfect. You want it to be better than the WWE. I get it. I get it, but no company's perfect. They weren't perfect. Things fell off. Stories were lacking. There were stories, but they weren't good stories. Roster's tremendous. They are a company that delivers great pro wrestling, but things weren't flowing. They didn't matter. Tonight, like I said in the open, everything mattered. Everything on this show mattered. And I'm going to leave it up to you, Jesse, because I want to get into what we saw tonight. The biggest takeaway from tonight's show, in your honest opinion, over the 2 hours.
The Young Bucks, man.
Let's talk about it.
The Young Bucks. I'll pick it apart even more than what everybody probably saw. I like that they addressed that the Hangman situation happened earlier on in the show, and they addressed that the rumors that he could be suspended, and then they presented the Young Bucks backstage, and they touched on that again. Then they brought the Bucks out and not only addressed the Hangman situation, but then brought up the Kenny situation. That's called threading something throughout the show. So you mention it here, you touch on it here, and then you give it to them here. That gives the people something to return from commercial breaks for, gives them a storyline arc to continue to watch throughout the show. In the meantime, other stuff of interest is also going on. Things like that gives the audience the overall feel of enjoyment of the entire show. And I think they did a pretty good job at that this week. So the Bucks come out. They say that Kenny is fired from the Elite. We didn't see that coming at all. They kicked his ass to the curb for being sick with a fucking potentially deadly disease.
They fired this man for having diverticulitis.
Who does this? Who does this? So they did that. And then Eddie came out because he was sick of them talking shit and everything else. I thought that was kind of random. Like, why is Eddie coming out to deal with the Bucks? All of a sudden, Okada comes out, and after the Bucks mentioned the tag team tournament, I'm not gonna lie, my initial reaction was they're gonna get Okada into this tag team tournament with Eddie Kingston, making them like potential dark horses in this thing. To be honest with you, that was my initial reaction, and about 30 seconds later, fucking Eddie Kingston's dead, and Okada is corporate Okada. I fucking stood and applauded. This is brilliant. I didn't see that coming. This is smart. This is great. This is gonna help Okada get over here in the States while dealing with the language barrier. The Bucks can easily portray his skills, his gimmick, and everything that needs to be portrayed to the audience. The Bucks can do all of that. Okada is a worldwide superstar in the pro wrestling world. In the United States, I mean, I can admit, I know this. He's really, to be honest, he's not much of anything in the United States outside of the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
So the Bucks can give him a hand as it pertains to getting him over with those casuals and things like that. And I love where it went. Right away, my mind took me to, we're getting Omega versus Okada at fucking All In. This is great.
That's exactly the same line of thinking that I was kind of going on while watching this segment. And if you guys remember 2 weeks ago, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we were talking about the upcoming debut of Okada, I mentioned, what about Okada going heel and joining the Don Callis family? A lot of you guys were like, nah, that doesn't really fit. Okada should come in. He should be paired with Ospreay. He should be a babyface.
Yeah.
Here we are. He ends up being a heel, but joins the Young Bucks. And from what I gather, like Jesse said, the Young Bucks fired Kenny Omega for not making his quote-unquote dates.
His dates.
Almost as if they forgot he almost died. Well, they didn't, because they are best friends. But, per character that they play on TV, he didn't make his dates. They're the evil EVPs. They see Kenny Omega as one of the biggest stars in the company. Where the fuck is he? Why isn't he showing up to work? Well, I don't know. He's got fucking diverticulitis, and he almost died. So they fired him. They suspended Adam Page for what he did at Revolution. So they, like Jesse said, they kind of weaved that in through the show. They alluded to that early on, that they had a major announcement. It was that. The rumor was that Page needs to go take care of some personal issues. He's going to be off TV indefinitely. For how long, we don't know. But then Okada comes out to basically save the Young Bucks from Eddie Kingston, who had a prior issue. What their issue was, I don't know. Again, Eddie Kingston's on this disrespect tour. He doesn't like anybody that's throwing around disrespect to the roster. So I know the Young Bucks interrupted his promo not too long ago, whether it was a week or two ago. He had a problem with that. So Eddie Kingston comes out and says, I don't give a shit what you guys told me. What did you say? That you would find me if I get in your face? And Eddie Kingston pulls out a whole wad of cash and throws it at the fucking Young Bucks. Okada all of a sudden comes out, and everybody's thinking that he's going to save the day here and back up Eddie Kingston. He ends up giving a fucking Rainmaker to Eddie Kingston. And he's standing there in a $10,000 suit, and he's posing with the Young Bucks. He got cheered. Everybody was going crazy. You heard the coin flip, the theme music. He comes out. He's got a huge ovation. And then all of a sudden, he's being rained down upon with booze. It's perfect. Like Jesse said, he doesn't speak English too well. The Young Bucks are going to get that genuine heel heat on Okada. I already see people shitting on it. Oh, it's in front of 3,000 people. Okada came off like a nobody and blah, blah, blah. It was so low-key. It almost wasn't as effective as everybody was making it out to be. Whatever the fucking case may be. This is great because what we just said here, this is all leading. They planted seeds. When does AEW ever plant fucking seeds? They just go right to the match. They planted seeds for August. Omega, Okada. What is that going to be? Match number 4, match number 5? In front of 80,000 fucking people?
Man, probably not even the fucking main event either.
Not even the main event?
Not even the main event, bro.
That's an undercard match with no Well, listen, let's not get ahead of ourselves because Okada targeted the Continental Champion. We could be looking at Okada taking the Continental title off of Eddie Kingston, and that could be for the Continental Championship,
there we go.
Which would also open up the door for wrestling overseas because he could defend it anywhere. So, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here, but holy shit, AEW just set themselves up for one of the biggest matches that the company will ever see in London. How could you not like that?
Yes, I saw people online saying, well, we already saw that match, you know.
Who cares?
We saw it a few times. Dude, how many people, and someone said it in my timeline, how many wrestling fans, how many people here in the United States never saw one of their classic 6-star fucking matches? They're going to be seeing it for the first fucking time.
Yeah.
Not only that, we haven't seen that match in years. Years. I'm already looking forward to it, and they didn't promise us shit about it.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I mean, they set it up perfectly. It was a slam dunk. What Eddie Kingston's going to be doing here, who's going to back him up, I don't know. I'm intrigued about where they go. Okada being heel. You know, he's been New Japan's John Cena for how long? So to have him here in the States and doing something different, and AEW's taking a chance and taking a risk on making him heel here, why would you snide that? I think that's great that they took a chance on this because everybody was expecting one thing. It didn't go your way. They went to go do something else. That's great. Everybody was expecting him to come out baby. And he comes out being heel. I love it. Fantastic.
This is great. I wasn't sure why Eddie Kingston was coming out at the time, but now in hindsight, I see exactly why he came out. Eddie Kingston he's over AF, dude. So he was a fantastic catalyst to turn on to help get his heel turn to be a little bit more impactful. Everybody fucking loves Eddie Kingston, man.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking loves Eddie Kingston. He's coming out to do the right thing. He's coming out to shut up the fucking the EVPs who are just fucking running roughshod. And Okada comes out to back him up. Then he turns on Eddie Kingston. That's genuine heat. How can you fucking turn on Eddie fucking Kingston, man? Everybody fucking loves Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Genuine heat. And like you said, I didn't even think about this. This is setting up his first feud. His first fucking feud could be with Eddie Kingston. And why not crown Okada as the fucking Continental Champion? Why not? It's great.
Can you imagine this new elite? Can you imagine this new elite? By the way, guys, you know, this is why, you know, we love what we do. I love analyzing the things that we watch. You know, Okada comes out there. Obviously, the seeds were planted not only for Omega, but for Okada's first feud with Eddie Kingston, the Continental Championship on the line. If you guys pay attention to the graphic that you saw for AEW Dynasty, it was all AEW champions. The rumor right now from social media is that this show is going to be their version of Night of Champions. It might be all championship matches on the line or championships on the line at that show. And the match card up and down will be all championship matches, maybe minus one match. You know, it might be a dream match with what we saw at the end of the show. But Okada versus Eddie Kingston at Dynasty for the Continental Championship, while the Young Bucks more than likely will go on to win those tag team championships, setting up a brand new group that is basically the new Elite. They killed the old Elite. They're going by the Elite still by firing Omega and suspending indefinitely Hangman Page. You don't think they're going to have a fucking problem with that?
Yep.
So they're going to have championship gold around their waist. Okada is coming in like a fucking major deal. He's going to take that title from Eddie Kingston. He's going to be presented as a champion like he usually is. And then you're going to get a feud between the old Elite versus new Elite. So AEW basically set up Okada's first match, a major all-in match, and a fucking feud that's going to take them through the summer, all in one segment.
Love it.
How don't you appreciate that?
Love it. We're basically getting the AEW's version of the Authority right now.
Basically.
This stable could grow. This stable could grow even more. So I'm all eyes. I'm all in on what the Bucks are doing right now. It started off just a little fine, whatever, but what it's evolved to is something of huge interest. The Bucks and their agenda, along with Okada, how long before they turn their sights onto the world title scene? How long before Swerve as champion gets caught up in there with fucking Okada? Please take my money. Where's my fucking wallet?
I know.
Where's my
Really?
wallet? Jeez, man. Swerve and Okada?
I thought it was one of the more effective segments that I've seen from AEW in a very, very long time. So if everybody's shitting on it because, Okada, he debuted in front of 3,000 people, it wasn't a big deal. Who the fuck was watching him beforehand?
Man, dude.
How many of you subscribe to New Japan World? How many? Probably count the fucking people on one hand. Give me a break.
Man.
Doesn't matter if it's 3,000 people or 300 people. It's more people than were watching fucking New Japan nowadays. Give me a fucking break. I
feel confident in saying that anyone who watched tonight's show and found nothing but negativity, you are exactly what I'm talking about when I say that you just watch it just to hate it. That tells me nothing could have happened on tonight's show that would have made you say something positive. That means you're just looking for anything, all right? Because there was nothing to point out in today's show as far as being negative. Was it a perfect show? You know, like JD said, no, it wasn't a perfect show. But for that 2 hours, I enjoyed watching the show. I wasn't whole humming on any match. I had stuff to go do in the other room with my new puppy and everything else, but I had to wait to a commercial break and then sprint to go do it because I didn't want to fucking miss what was on my fucking TV. This is great stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and those people that claim that, JD is negative, he hates AEW. Clearly, we're going to shut those people up, too, because we love the show. We obviously were excited about Revolution. We're excited about tonight. So those people, you won't hear a fucking peep from because those people are non-existent. They'll only be here when we need to shit on something that happened on the show, and then they'll cry, oh, he hates the show. But in actuality, we actually wanted a show like this. We've been asking for a show like this. We're excited to review a show that we got like we did tonight. So those people will be quiet.
Yeah.
Moving on with the rest of the show, Jesse. I do want to talk about the Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson thing. We'll get to that. Wardlow, he's getting his championship match next week at Big Business against Samoa Joe. Potentially something big, no pun intended, happening there with the World Championship. Swerve is not giving up on his championship aspirations. We'll go over the Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay match. And we'll revisit what I said on Sunday night in regards to Will Ospreay and how AEW should be positioning him and what I don't want them to do, which they seem to not be listening to. So we'll get into that. Christian Cage, Adam Copeland. He was on the show tonight, was Copeland. After not being at Revolution, we're getting a TNT Championship match this month after Big Business. The following week after Big Business in Toronto, we're getting an I Quit match between Copeland and Christian, number 3 for the TNT Championship. And the ladies, they got multiple segments tonight, which was something that we've been asking for that we haven't seen before. Bro, the ladies got a match that went pretty decent and was very good. We got Toni Storm with a backstage segment about what's happening next week. She's going to be delivering the Tony Awards with an I. And Julia Hart, Sky Blue got a segment. 3 women's segments tonight on the show.
Yeah, and I see people already complaining about that. That people just complain, well, Riho sucks.
All right, but she delivered a very good match with Chris Statlander.
But here's the thing. This match was not about Riho. This match and what we got in that segment was not about Riho. It was about Chris Statlander and her indecision and her situation going on with Stokely and Willow. You're focused on Riho. You're focused on the wrong goddamn thing. We're waiting for the Chris Statlander heel turn. You're watching Riho. Riho was a body that can be in the match and take a win. You can't put her in there with a jobber. You put her in there with a contracted employee, a former champion, and she got beat. Why she get beat? Because she second-guessed her fucking decisions and everything. There's a story being told. You're focused on Riho because you don't like Riho. You don't have to like Riho, but she served her purpose tonight.
I don't know, man. You're making people look stupid.
I mean, just it's
We're gonna have to actually calm down there, bro.
people just looking for stuff to shit on when there is. I mean, what the fuck, man? That's what we do. We shit on shit, and then people get mad about that.
Oh,
We call it positive, and people get mad about
Listen,
that.
man, no negativity here this week, man. I'm gonna have to get
Yeah.
ready, okay? Stop.
Jeez.
And by the way, it was a season premiere. You know, it probably doesn't have any bearing on why they brought in Riho, but you know, Riho was on the very first AEW Dynamite, wasn't she? So, you know, this was their season premiere, and they brought in Riho. Tony Khan loves to, you know, throw back on those types of situations. So that's why he brought in Riho tonight. He could have put anybody out there with Chris Statlander. There could have been fucking some enhancement talent, and the same storyline would have played out. It doesn't matter who was there, like Jesse said. It was all about Stat. It wasn't about fucking Riho.
Man, dude.
Anyway.
What if we got a swerve? What if we got a swerve? No pun intended. What if Willow is the one that turns?
I could see that.
Who knows?
I could see that. Even though I see Stat being more so the heel because Willow is too goody two shoes, but
Yeah, exactly.
I think if anybody needs a change out of the two, it's definitely Willow.
Man, who knows where this shit goes? I mean, the possibilities are there. I'm liking the storytelling going on here, man.
We're going to get into all this stuff, guys. Quickly, I want to make sure you guys are aware that we have new merchandise out. And by the way, Red Skies is back on the jukebox.
Oh, man.
We got it fixed. Shout out to J+1, who mixed and produced this song with Dr. Disrespect when they did the initial recording. I hit him up on Twitter, and he basically took care of it, man. Quick. I didn't really expect Doc to answer, but I tweeted him as well. So they all took care of it. So it was a music label issue, but Red Skies is back in the venue, guys. It's not going nowhere. But please,
All right.
make sure you guys go and check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it. Like I was about to say, also, we have merchandise out. New merchandise now available on bonfire.com. Go and get your new t-shirts, man. We got the Go Google It t-shirts. We got a WWE version and an AEW version. So make sure you guys go check that stuff out. Link is in the description of this very video. And if you guys see the shop underneath the video player, just click that. It'll take you right to the Bonfire storefront for OTS. So go get your merchandise today. Follow me on social media. At JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. At JD from NY206, and Jesse at Chi-Town Smark on X. Make sure you guys go click Jesse's link at the top of the description as well. Take you right to his YouTube channel. And you guys can go subscribe to him. Please hit that thumbs up. Strive for 1,000 likes. We got 2,500 plus in here on a Wednesday night for this brand new season premiere of AEW Dynamite. So get those likes up. Let's try for 1,000 likes tonight. No questions asked. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show like we usually do. And we got some great new sponsors coming up in the weeks ahead, man. We are back with DraftKings. We got the Ridge lined up. We got Blue Chew. We got my friends over at Game Time. We got Factor. We got a bunch of sponsors coming to the OTS family. And I want to shout out my guy, Billy, Oh, my goodness, man. Billy Sizane with a bomb 100 in Super Chat for a Billy Bomb. JD and Jesse, OTS for life. Next week, Mercedes Moné is coming. I can't wait. Me neither, man. I love that woman dearly. Can't wait to see Mercedes on television once again. It's been a long time coming. It's since June, I would say, right? It's been almost a year.
Injuries, man, and just decisions to be made, life. Finally, we're getting there, though.
Yeah.
Finally.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start off with Dynamite at the top. Swerve Strickland comes out after a tremendous triple threat match with Samoa Joe and Adam Hangman Page, who is now suspended indefinitely at AEW Revolution for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And he's out there majorly over as Swerve Strickland. I think at this point, Jesse, it is at a point where Swerve, we can start comfortably calling him a babyface.
Pretty much so, man.
Yeah.
Pretty much so. He's saying and doing all of the right babyface things. I'm a little confused about his affiliation with the Mogul affiliates, so not sure how that's gonna play out, but
You don't need him.
they have to do something about it, man. They got to separate. But what happens with Nana? Nana is still helping Khan and Cage and everything else. What happens then?
I don't know. They got to tell a story. Got to let it play out on television. I don't know. They can't just
figure
ignore
that
it.
one out. You can't separate Nana from Swerve.
No, never.
Can't. So I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with that one.
So everybody was chanting Swerve's house in Atlanta. He said he came up short in the match on Sunday. He's not sure if he deserves the crowd appreciation. He said it was 2 years ago that he stood on stage at Revolution 2023 and he was offered an AEW contract. Tony Schiavone was the one who did it. Schiavone said he remembers that vividly. He said he vowed to win the championship, championships, including the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He said he stands there without a title and he believes it might be karma from all the bad things he's done. So maybe it's payback and maybe I'm not supposed to be a champion around here. He said maybe he's supposed to be a role player who comes close but can't quite grasp it and he has to settle. So basically, Swerve is calling himself the Philadelphia Phillies. You don't want to be the Philadelphia Phillies, bro. Come on. You want to be the Braves. He said something felt different on Sunday because it felt like people were truly rooting for him for the first time. He said it felt like they really wanted him to win and make history in the company. And they do. A lot of people are behind Swerve. You got two of them right here. You got many others that do what we do in the community that utter the same sentiment. He should be, this year, realistically, the AEW World Champion. When it happens, where it happens, how it happens, that all remains to be seen. But I think we are painting a clearer picture here, Jesse, which we'll get into in just a little bit with who came out and then the big match next week with Wardlow and Samoa Joe.
We're seeing his chase. This is this chase.
Yep. And that's the best part of the story.
Yep.
He said he heard people flew from his home state of Washington to see him make history. He said for that, he will not let the fans down. He leaned into the camera and promised to come after Joe whether you still hold that world championship or not. He says he doesn't know when or where, but he will defeat him for the AEW World Title. And then he went on to ask, whose house? Swerve's house. So Samoa Joe then comes out and he marches to the ring. Joe said, for a man he beat down the other night, he's making a lot of promises to the people he won't ever keep. He says he's there to deliver a reality check. He said, they're in Swerve's house, but unfortunately your house exists in my world. Ooh, I really like that line.
I thought it was Wardlow's world.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Oh, what the fuck?
Not anymore.
Jeez.
Wardlow's world is Adam Cole's world.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah. So he says he didn't want to leave the fans with someone who was almost a champion. So he came out there so they could gaze upon an actual world champion. He extended his arms and he spun around. Swerve says he's talking really spicy for a man he has yet to beat because Hangman was the one that submit. And, a lot of us, including, Jesse and I alluded that Hangman wanted more to keep the title away from Swerve instead of winning the title for himself, which kind of, at Revolution, it was painted that way. And I love that. We will never know. because Paige is not there anymore, and Swerve never was really beaten. So we're just going to run with that. So the Undisputed Era Kingdom, they come out. Adam Cole's in his wheelchair still. He is there with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, who are the Irrelevant Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Wardlow, who's the number one contender for the AEW World Title, and Roderick Strong, who's the new International Champion. Adam Cole said all people should be talking about the Undisputed Kingdom coming out of Revolution. And he said Strong is the new International Champion. He said Taven and Bennett are still the greatest Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions of all time, as if that means anything. He said Joe is big and bad, and the only reason he's still world champion now is because we let it happen, which is kind of true. Kind of true there. He said Swerve is the hot new thing, but 6 months from now, no one will give a damn about him. The only thing you're going to swerve from is the main event scene. He said, it's a nice burn there. He said Wardlow is going to be the one who wins that title very, very soon. Swerve started laughing and says he's funny, telling him to get to the back of the line. He asked Cole how many times he's failed after one opportunity of another. He said he's going to, he's taking his role well as a manager, his new role. The whole Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget thing is really funny to me. He said if he needs a new client, I've got Britt Baker's second phone number in my pocket right here. So we got the girlfriend burn. Nice. Cole says he thinks he's really cute and a tough guy. He told Swerve and Joe to team up against Bennett and Taven. Swerve suggested they do it right now since they're already here and already dressed. Cole said they make the rules, not them, and the match is happening next week. So Tony Schiavone interjected and said that I just heard from Tony Khan that the match is happening right now, so bring us a referee. Cole threw a fit. What do you mean right now? So Joe and Swerve argued about who would start the match, and we get an impromptu tag team match to start the show. Couple things I want to mention before we get into the breakdown of this. Adam Cole, he mentioned Wardlow. Okay, I don't know if you guys are paying attention. I know he's done this on more than one occasion, not just this week. Adam Cole mentioned that Wardlow was going to win the AEW Championship, and he was going to bring it home where it rightfully belongs, and he points at himself. Yes. He points at himself. He never says Wardlow's bringing the World Heavyweight Championship into the Undisputed Kingdom. He points to himself and says he's bringing it back home. I want to start there, Jesse. This match next week with Wardlow and Samoa Joe. Do you see Wardlow winning the championship and then being forced to vacate it over or turn it over to Adam Cole, and Adam Cole will become the de facto AEW World Champion, just like Andre the Giant won the World Championship from Hulk Hogan and had to give it up to Ted DiBiase?
I see what they're trying to allude to, but no. I think Joe is for Swerve to beat for that title. You know, I'm just trying to figure out how they're gonna have this whole Adam Cole Wardlow thing play out in my head, and I just don't see it being important enough to go around Swerve any longer. You know what I'm saying? He's enthralled into this feud with Joe, and now he did mention that he was gonna come after Joe whether he was champion or not. But I feel like taking the title from Joe just to put it on Wardlow and then have it get caught up in the, you know, in the United Era Kingdom, faction, whatever the fuck they're called now.
Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it dilutes Swerve's chase. I mean, but for me right now, I'm looking forward to Swerve actually beating Joe, the dominant champion, to become world champion, because anyone else right now as champion is not going to be as dominant as Joe.
No.
So I'm not sure which way they're going with it. Me personally, I'd rather see Swerve defeat Joe for that title as opposed to anyone else.
They are in a sticky situation because Wardlow has had the stop and start pushes throughout his run in AEW ever since he beat MJF decisively many years ago.
Yep.
I don't know what they do with him next week. They are in a sticky situation. He can't lose. He can't lose clean. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know who the fuck's listening to. Wardlow cannot lose clean. I don't know how the fuck you take him into next week and then have him, skate by getting out of next week still intact. I don't know how the fuck you go about that unless he wins the world championship and then hands it over to Adam Cole. But why would he do that unless he's going to get jumped from behind by everybody else? And the whole Kyle O'Reilly thing is a big ruse, and they just replace him with Kyle O'Reilly in the Undisputed Kingdom. I don't know. Samoa Joe, I agree with you, should be the world champion, dominant champion, and then drop that to someone like Swerve. But now we have Wardlow, who they're in a sticky situation with, who can't lose clean. Don't know where he goes if he does. Adam Cole is back on television in a recurring role. It looks like, feels like he may be on his way back to getting back to full health soon. You know he's going to be factored into that. Then, if Adam Cole is back on television, then that opens the discussion for MJF to come back to television. And you know he's going to want to get revenge on Adam Cole for costing him the championship at World's End. And he's got a prior issue with Swerve. They had an interaction late last year as well. So you know he's going to be coming back for his world championship, no matter who the champion is. How do all these guys fit into the top of the card? How do they all fit into the world championship discussion? I don't know.
This is very unpredictable.
It's very unpredictable. This is what Tony Khan's going to have to really sit down with his team and kind of figure out. There's a lot of moving parts there. And right now, we don't really have, as a fan base, which is a good thing, but I don't think the company really understands or knows where they want to go with this either. And I think they're taking this little by little, step by step, week by week. So it's going to be very interesting to see where they go.
Yeah, you make a good point, man. They definitely booked themselves into a corner with this Wardlow situation.
Yeah.
They could kick him out of the faction, but then you're gonna turn him straight up babyface on his own, you know, and that didn't work out well last time. He has momentum right now as a heel. Man, I don't know. Unless Adam Cole, what was Adam Cole's prognosis? Because unless he's actually ready to go, unless he hops out of that chair and causes some mayhem, I don't see Wardlow winning that title and it being more exciting than us getting Swerve and Joe. But now if Cole has a miraculous recovery and he's up and he's out of that chair, you know, a la Vince McMahon style, and you know the '98 World Survivor Series, it could be a whole different story.
Adam Cole, by the way, has been out for 7 months. He's been out since Grand Slam last year, September. That's 7 months.
7 months. Okay, that sounds about. I think his prognosis was right around there, wasn't it? About 8 months.
I think so. Yeah.
So that'd be great. He did go from crutches to a wheelchair, you know, which you know tells me the injury doesn't get worse. It's supposed to be getting better. So you know maybe he is about ready to go. You know that could be a game changer right there. I think Adam Cole is the X factor for next week, but yeah, they are definitely booked into a corner as it pertains to Wardlow and that momentum that they just keep starting. Anything less than the win is going to be looked at very, very negatively about Wardlow and this continued push, man. They need to be careful with this match next week.
They do. And another possibility is Wardlow. Obviously, if he is turned on by the Undisputed Kingdom and they want to turn him babyface, you know, then you open up the possibility of him once again being aligned with MJF, and maybe he and MJF rekindle their partnership, which, you know, wouldn't really make sense because Wardlow's entire being since being back and joining the Undisputed Kingdom was to target MJF and basically take everything away from MJF. They did that at World's End, and now you're just going to go back and join him because you got kicked out of the group by Adam Cole. I mean, that's a little silly after all the dialogue that we got from Wardlow and his hatred for MJF. I'm just thinking out loud here about where MJF fits into this, and if Wardlow does go inside with MJF. I made a, prediction on Tuesday Night Titans last night with Andrew Baydala. I said, the Dynasty pay-per-view is going to be very telling because they made World's End. World's End was a very bizarre, when we first heard about World's End, it's like, that's kind of cryptic in a way that AEW used that title for a pay-per-view. And I'm like, well, clearly that's spelling out the demise of MJF and possibly the end of his title run for now. And that's exactly what it was. And now we have Dynasty. What is this play on words for AEW? Is this another cryptic AEW pay-per-view title? And MJF and MLW had a group, a stable called Dynasty. Is this something that's going to take effect in AEW? Is he going to come back with his own manpower, and battle the Undisputed Kingdom. Is Wardlow going to be in that group with MJF? I don't know. It's a possibility. It's a talking point that really needs to be discussed. So, again, a lot of moving parts here. They have several different ways they can go about it. Several weeks to go to tell this before Adam Cole gets back. MJF is back. We got Dynasty 5 weeks from now. Obviously, this will take us throughout the summer. They got a lot of moving parts here, Jesse, but the moving parts could really lead to something really, really big in AEW, and I want to see them really play this out well.
Yeah, I have another scenario for you. What if MJF comes back and he gets away from the babyface gimmick and goes back to full heel? Because if the goal is to push Swerve as the top babyface, there's no room for a babyface MJF anymore, which is great because to me that sets up Swerve versus MJF for the world title in London.
It does, but I don't want to start talking about that discussion until we get MJF versus Adam Cole, because that absolutely has to happen.
Yes.
And Adam Cole's going to be heel and MJF's going to be the overwhelming babyface. There's no way MJF is coming back and being a heel. There's no way. So I don't know how they take him from coming back and everybody misses him. He wants revenge. He wants to kill Adam Cole for what he did. He's going to be the babyface and then turn him into a heel. I mean, I don't really see that being the case here.
Well, he has to come back as a babyface. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
But how long that babyface run is up in the air, because yes, he wants revenge on Adam Cole, but at the same time, let's not forget what the most important thing to MJF is, and that's Triple B.
Yeah.
So, and if Swerve is champion, yes, his focus could be Swerve, or it could be MJF. But again, if his focus is getting his Triple B back, then maybe he could say fuck Adam Cole till later, or deal with Adam Cole on the way to getting to London. I love this. I love that there is so much unpredictability and moving parts at the top of the card like this. I'm interested. I can't wait to see how this unfolds.
I don't know where they're going into All In, but I have been saying it for months now. I think Adam Cole versus MJF again this year, big time grudge match, no title on the line. I think we get that at All In. I think that's the proper setting for it. I think the payoff will be there before MJF goes back and tries to get Triple B back. So realistically, I'm just thinking out loud here what All In could potentially look like. We may be looking at a situation where we have Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada, MJF versus Adam Cole, and Swerve defending that championship against Will Ospreay. Potentially. I don't know. A lot of people are like, well, Ospreay should be in the main event. Who knows where Bryan's going to fit into that? I don't think they hold that match off until August.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't think so.
It's March. I mean, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, potentially that could be the case here. I mean, if you're looking at those three matches, I mean, holy shit.
I love it, man. I love it. And there's so many other... what about Hangman? What about Joe? You know,
Yeah.
there's so much other stuff going on. I'm sincerely interested in see how they unfold this throughout the summer, man.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. So we got this opening segment. So like I said in the beginning, we got new set. We got new theme music. We got Tunnels back. We got a in-ring segment that wasn't a match to start the show off. An in-ring segment that led to an interruption, that led to an impromptu tag team match. Yes, this is WWE-like, but AEW doesn't do it all the time. They hardly do it at all. So to see it on Dynamite tonight, it was a fresh start to the show. I could do without the "can they coexist, pal?" You know, I don't really care about that. And at some point in the match, I don't know if you were thinking the same thing, Jesse. It's like, well, why did this match need to happen?
Yeah,
this tag team match, Joe and Swerve teaming up against the Undisputed Kingdom, Taven and Bennett. It's like, who cares, man? You're just gonna make Undisputed Kingdom look like geeks. They're not gonna beat these two guys. And then, you know, can they coexist? It's so played out. It's like, why do you want a team together? Like,
yeah, but you know so when you here's the fantastic thing about putting on a great overall show is that little subtle things like that, little logic gaps like that, they don't hit as hard. They don't bother you as much. Are we gonna point them out? Fuck yeah, because that's what we do. It's our fucking job. But when the show is good on an overall basis, you can kind of point out this little logic gap and then get past it and move on because the overall show was fucking good, man. I mean, I got up at the fucking crack this morning and I had a lot of stuff to do all day. I didn't get a nap in, nothing like that. So I was tired just going into Dynamite tonight. And the show was so damn good. It just kept me interested and up and all the way through. I couldn't wait to get to this review. I enjoyed myself tonight. So when you put on a bad show, the logic gaps, they hurt more and they stick out more. You know, it's like if you go on to have a Cy Young season, you know, who's gonna give a shit about that one game where you fucking stunk it up and get tossed in the fucking third? You finish the season strong. Who gives a shit? I mean, but if you finish the season like shit, then yeah, they're gonna point out all of your bad fucking outings, dude.
Yep.
So it's fine. It's fine. It's not like the worst thing in the world. It is a little bit of a logic gap, but at the end of the day, the show was good. So we can look past that. That doesn't mean keep making little logic gap mistakes like that going forward. Fix it and then continue to put on good shows.
So we got this tag team match. Wasn't really the best presentation of the greatest Ring of Honor tag team champions of all time, but they're cronies in the Undisputed Era Kingdom. But this match went about 7 minutes. Joe got beat up, head of a commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Swerve got the hot tag. He landed a top rope double stomp to Bennett, and then he eyed Samoa Joe. There was tension built in between these two guys. It wasn't, them teaming and just not realizing that they want at each other's throats. There was tension there, even though they did the "can they coexist, pal?" So Swerve landed his house call on Taven, followed by a JML driver, and that was basically it for the win. Quick, painless, 7 minutes. Swerve immediately eyed Joe, who didn't look happy that Swerve won so quickly without his help. He didn't really need him. So Wardlow walked out. Swerve stared at him. Joe put Swerve in a coquina clutch from behind. And that was basically the way the segment came to an end. So Wardlow is getting his match with Samoa Joe next week at Big Business. How that ends is going to be very telling in regards to the future of Wardlow. Where does Adam Cole fit in? And does Joe lose the championship? So we got a lot of questions going into next week, which is a good thing. Because, a lot of people are like, well, maybe this will be the main event of Dynasty. No. Wardlow, love Wardlow. Great. Yeah. But he's not a pay-per-view main event guy yet. He's not there.
Not just yet. And we anticipated it being, next week too.
Yeah.
We did. I thought it was also a little odd, or maybe it's a foreshadowing, but Swerve told Joe, "Don't turn your back on me." And then just for Swerve to proceed to turn his back on Joe, then get put in the coquina clutch.
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of like, wait, why would you turn your back on Joe, man?
You don't turn your back on Samoa Joe.
It goes back to, I just feel like Swerve is going to be taking that title from Joe when I think Joe is his mountain to climb.
Yeah. So we move on from that. Everything flowed. It definitely felt like Jennifer Pepperman was influencing the show right away because Tony Khan, you asked Tony Khan how to open Dynamite. I know, we'll just go to Orange Cassidy. No.
Orange title shot.
Orange, you still got that title. You lost it, right? Open the show. I'm gonna put you in there against Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
That's Tony Khan's open. This felt very WWE-esque. Not gonna lie, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Tony took his work rate opening match that he puts at the beginning of the show
and put it at the end.
Put it at the end.
I know, great. It's great.
I like that. There you go.
So right after this match, everything was flowing nicely. We got the WWE-esque, open. And then we go into a little highlight package of Hook and Brian Cage and a little explanation as to why this match is happening.
A replay package? What?
Wow, man. What? We got highlights from Collision.
What?
Wow.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable. So then we go into a interview with Renee Paquette, who's interviewing Hook. She asked how he was feeling. All of a sudden, Chris Jericho interrupted. He said his first match, he had a lion heart, or that he had his lion heart, was in the ECW arena against his dad, Taz. Said Taz suplexed him on his head, and he's never forgotten it. I would hope not. He said he's always felt a connection to Taz because of this moment, which made him think he has a connection to Hook. He said he never respected Hook until he dumped him on his head on Sunday at Revolution. He said maybe he is the real deal. So they fist bumped. Hook muttered something along the way. I don't know what he said. I think he said bet, and then he walked away.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the highlight package and giving me a reason why Brian Cage and Hook happened. We'll get into that in a second. But I could tell you right now, and I'm sure I will utter it in the next 5 minutes, I do not care, Jesse, about Chris Jericho aligning himself with Hook.
Well, so I can appreciate the fact that Jericho signing off on Hook, is a major endorsement for him.
Yeah.
And what I'm worried about is this is going to eventually lead to a Jericho heel turn, to have a match with Hook and everything else. I think Jericho is on like Big Show levels of face heel turns right about now. I think he needs to pick one and stay with it. But I can appreciate, the level of Chris Jericho endorsing Hook. I think it's something that would benefit Hook going forward as a singles competitor and things like that. But at the end of the day, I see what you mean. I get it. If I'm dealing with Hook, I want to see Hook in a young, fresh feud myself. But I do like the fact that Jericho's going to help try to put him over. Where they're going with it, I'm not sure. But I'm not on board with seeing another Jericho heel turn and all this other shit. No more factions for Jericho, things like that. But maybe they have a plan. Just because I don't see it, in front of me, just because I can't predict it, just because I don't understand it, doesn't mean it's not going to be good. So let me see what they have planned for Jericho and Hook, see if it makes any sense, see if it turns out to be any good. But I could appreciate Hook getting the endorsement from, probably the most seasoned veteran on the roster. That can only be a good thing for Hook right now.
Yeah. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson said they have two big announcements. Matt said they'd make them live, the announcements, in the ring later. They had these fake-ass smiles on, and they were acting very Tony Khan-like, basically imitating Tony Khan out there. They gave the thumbs up. Yeah, we'll see it in a little bit. We'll go out there and make the announcements live in front of everybody. Great. So we go from that to Hook and the Machine, Brian Cage. Jesse asked me, chat, why I think Brian Cage is wearing a cape out to the ring. Well, clearly he looks like fucking Wolverine. Now, I don't recall Wolverine ever wearing a cape, but he looks
fucking cape.
He looks like a superhero, bro.
Right. He's a Swolverine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's his thing. All right, gonna be the Wolverine. All right, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But Brian Cage out there in these bright yellow and blue, color schemes with a big ass cape on, he looks fucking ridiculous, dude. I'm sorry. I do like what they're doing with Brian Cage as of late and the things that they have been putting him in. I was just talking about this with someone the other day. Brian Cage has looked the best that he's ever looked in AEW over the last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, he's used on a semi-regular basis. I mean, at one point he wasn't being used at all.
Yeah, exactly. So
and he's very good.
He's good, dude. So what they have him doing is great shit. I'm just wondering why he's coming out looking like a fucking one of the messed up superheroes from the Incredibles or something with a big ass cape on and get the fucking eye makeup paint on and match the fucking. That's not Brian Cage. He's a fucking killer, dude. He's a fucking monster. He's a fucking killer. He doesn't need a cape. He's out there looking like fucking Pac in fucking WWE. I mean, what the fuck is this, man?
EJ in the chat says Brian Cage is dressed up as King from the fighting game Tekken.
Then why does it say Swolverine on this fucking ass?
First of all, I never played Tekken. I wasn't a big fan of Tekken. I'm more of a Street Fighter guy myself. But I guess that's cool. I mean, Keith Lee, he wore a cape for one reason or another, right? It was because of something Tekken related to, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Or did he want to graduate from the wizarding world of Harry? I don't know.
Well, That's fine. I mean, is Swolverine from Tekken? I thought it was just his gimmick. I thought it was just his play on Wolverine. I could be wrong.
Swolverine sounds a little sus, says Hooligan.
That's what it said on his ass. It said Swolverine. Now, if Swolverine is a character on Tekken that I'm unfamiliar with, then my apologies.
That's
But
great.
other than that,
That's great. You know, it's a positive, man. Brian Cage is a gamer. We like
Yeah.
gamers.
maybe he is.
There you
Fuck
go.
do I know? I don't know. I don't know. You could be right, and I'm way the fuck off here. But I just thought it was his take on being Wolverine.
This is coming from two Destiny 2 players.
Yeah, we don't play Tekken.
Which, by the way, one of Sting's sons makes Destiny 2 content on YouTube.
Bullshit. One of the ones that was in the ring?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
All right. Is he a Titan main?
I don't know. I didn't go too deep into it. Who cares?
You gotta check it out.
I got texts coming in, bro, asking why you looking at Cage's ass.
Because it's right there. I have a 61-inch screen, fucking high-def TV with glitter Wolverine written across it. How do you not see that shit?
Jesse's looking at the Swolverine.
That's like if Brian Cage pulled down his pants and showed his junk, and people say, "Oh, you can see his junk." Why are you looking at it? Because it's on my big ass TV, bro, right there, front and center. How do you miss it?
I don't know.
How do you miss it?
You can't miss Brian Cage.
You can't miss it, bro. Big sparkly fucking letters across my.
He's the
big
fucking
screen.
size of a skyscraper.
I mean, Jesus. How did you not see it? That's what I want to know.
Anyway, this was a FTW championship match with FTW rules. I'll get to that in a second because I don't really understand why. But like I said, we'll get into it. Hook was on the apron. He leapt at Cage on the outside. Cage caught him and power slammed him on the mat outside, which looked devastating. Cage charged in at Hook, and Hook moved and Cage crashed into the barricade. He went right through it. Fans chanted, "Holy shit." We go to a picture-in-picture break. So they brawled at ringside during the break. Cage had control after we come back from break. The ring had a chair, a trash can, kendo sticks, and a security railing in the ring. Who countered Cage? Yes, this is a Wednesday Night Dynamite, folks. This is not a pay-per-view. Hook countered Cage and DDT'd him onto the chair. Didn't really look all that great, but he did it anyway. Hook took Cage down with a flying clothesline and then delivered a T-bone suplex, which is always impressive on someone like Cage. Hook then suplexed Cage onto the ringside barricade and scored a near fall 2 count. Cage came back with a neck breaker and a powerbomb. He dropped Hook onto a chair, but it went into a pinfall after that. Cage got a 2 count. Cage grabbed a black bag underneath the ring, brought it into the ring. He poured out thumbtacks. Yes, this is a regular Dynamite match. Wow. Hook floated over Cage's suplex attempt and went for the Red Rum Sleeper, but Cage backed him into the corner turnbuckles. Hook bashed Cage with a kendo stick and then backdropped him onto the tacks. Camera showed a few tacks stuck in his back. Hook then forearmed him and applied Red Rum. Cage leapt back and drove Hook's back onto the tacks. Hook held on to the Red Rum, and Cage passed out, which was a great ending. Don't get me wrong. But Hook wins in about 10 minutes via submission. But, and I say but, even though AEW's done a very good job of making Hook look like a fucking badass between the Joe match, which was tremendous, and then this spot here, you know, the finish to this match was fucking badass. But I will say, I'm going to need AEW to kindly calm the fucking no DQ, street fights, kendo sticks, thumbtacks on a regular Dynamite, bro. I mean, this was not the end of a blood feud. These guys haven't been feuding for as long as Paige and Swerve have. Did we need thumbtacks? I mean, only under the rarest of situations should you be bringing out fucking thumbtacks, especially, you know, in a feud on Dynamite.
On a regular Wednesday night. Make people pay for that spot.
I mean, I feel like we see thumbtacks every fucking 2 or 3 weeks on this show. Like,
I'm just getting ready to say, whoever might be listening or who might have the ear of someone who might be listening, you are severely desensitizing your audience to the fucking thumbtacks.
Yes. Like,
they are not special anymore.
We don't need, I don't want to see another fucking pair of thumbtacks at all. Like, I don't want to see another bag of thumbtacks.
No.
I don't want to see a pair of fucking kendo sticks. I get that Tony Khan is a big ECW guy. I was a huge ECW guy. We just got done talking about Paul Heyman last night and us tape trading in fucking high school VHS tapes because ECW, I was not allowed to watch it because it was on so fucking late. And if my parents caught me, I'd be fucking grounded. Like, I get it. But you don't need to do ECW because Taz's son is in the ring wrestling. You know, Taz was Taz. Taz wrestled for ECW. Hook didn't. Hook wrestles for AEW. Like, let's try and be a little bit more original, please.
Yeah, yes. I mean, we love the thumbtack spot. We want to continue to love the thumbtack spot. But how can you when you literally pull it out about? I'll be realistic here. I mean, it feels like they use thumbtacks probably at least 2 to 3 times, maybe even a month.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. You know, I mean, don't go and look up the fucking analytics and then prove me wrong, but it just feels like we just see it too much. But at the end of the day, we see it too much, and I want to enjoy it. As soon as he went out and pulled the bag out, like, oh, here we go, thumbtack spot. Dude, you should not be having thumbtack spots on a show where you have commercial breaks. Let's just start with that.
No.
Make people pay for that kind of spot. Not only that, you don't want your fucking wrestlers doing that spot too many fucking times, man. I mean, I get the no DQ match. I get the hardcore matches. We get those. I mean, everybody does those. But save the big fucking spot. Like the spot that Darby took when he fucking jumped through the fucking glass at the pay-per-view. Awesome. That's the kind of spot you save for a big spot at the pay-per-view. Sting's last match. That's when you pull out something that big, something like that. The thumbtacks. Now imagine if Darby did that spot every other fucking weekend. Nobody would care.
No.
You've desensitized us to it. You did the same thing with the thumbtacks. Just put them away for right now and bring them out once in the blue moon and watch how people pop for it, you know?
Afterwards, the Gates of Agony attacked Hook. Khan jumped the barricade. Out came both Gates of Agony, Khan and Toa Leona. Jericho's music played. He ran out to save Hook from the beating, and he used his bat to clear the ring. And he comes to save the day for Taz's son. Again, I'm not really interested initially. I'll give it a chance to see where it goes and if they give some sort of explanation as to why he's all of a sudden befriending Hook. But initial reaction is, I don't care.
Yeah, mine is, let it play out.
Yeah.
Let it play out. Let me see.
Renee interviewed Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, along with Chuck Taylor, who is still not cleared from injury. She asks, what's next for Orange Cassidy after losing the International Championship? No, I want to get my title back. I'm going to get my International Championship back. No, he says, I'm going to fill my backpack with another championship, I think. That's great. She asked if they will enter the tag team tournament. Chuck said, well, I'm not clear, but Trent and Orange Cassidy have a tag team match on Friday to prep them for the tournament, and they will be in the tournament. So I'm assuming we're going to get a tournament of 8 teams. And I could already tell that we're going to get the best friends here. Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, got no problem with that. We're going to get FTR. We're going to get the Blackpool Combat Club. And we got the Young Bucks. So that's 4 teams right there. Don't know how Tony Khan's going to fill out the remaining field of 4. Maybe the House of Black. Maybe the Lucha Brothers. Maybe we get... who else is there? Private Party.
You got plenty. You got Private Party. I don't know what's going on with. No, fuck that. No, we don't want the Hardys.
No, Matt Hardy's a free agent in a month.
In a month, okay,
yeah.
All right.
I think at the end of this month, his contract is up.
I don't know if they're gonna re-sign him or what. I hope they re-sign him to a management role backstage.
I agree.
I'll be honest. I don't want to see him leave the company, but my God, I don't want to see him out there taking bumps anymore. I just don't. I'm sorry. I think he can bring a lot to the table with the young and up and coming tag teams, man. I really do. But just not out in the ring.
Yes, I'd love to see the House of Black in the tournament, specifically Brody King and Buddy Matthews. Yes,
absolutely, man.
If they're not in the tournament, I have some fucking problems. TK, we got to talk.
Yeah,
seriously. I
can and I can deal with Orange not giving a shit about getting his title back because that's Orange. That's his gimmick.
Yeah,
like whatever, you know.
I'll go do something else.
I'll do something else. Whatever. That's his gimmick. But we complain about when others do it because that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
You know, for Orange, it makes complete sense. So that is fine. There are a bunch of then we got the undisputed United Kingdom of the World too. You know,
Yeah.
got those guys right there.
I would absolutely put them in there.
We got tag teams to fill, and like, oh, we got Lethal and Brisco.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
I like it.
I don't know why Jay Lethal is still with Jeff Jarrett. They broke up twice on TV.
Well, they got a tag team match on Collision against the House of Black. Maybe they play that out and kind of separate them there. I don't know. Listen, I know. I agree.
Jeez, man.
Anyway, from one group to the other, we got the patriarchy out there. Kill Switch versus Daddy Magic Matt Menard. Now, I will be honest with you. I was about to tweet, what the fuck? What did this show turn into? Rampage? Yeah. Why isn't this match happening on Rampage? But I refrained. I was good. I refrained from tweeting my displeasure, and I let it play out.
There you go.
3 minutes. Obviously, Kill Switch, Luchasaurus, wins, and he finished him off with a clothesline to the back of the head. Now, the reason why Daddy Magic was out there is because, obviously, the match between Danny Garcia and Christian Cage obviously happened on Sunday, and Daddy Magic is good friends with Daniel Garcia, and they've been going back and forth with the patriarchy here. So Kill Switch wins, clearly, easy. 3 minutes over Daddy Magic. Afterwards, Christian laughed as Kill Switch picked up Menard for more of a beating. Garcia made the save. He's out there. Nick Wayne ran into the ring and attacked Garcia. Kill Switch then held Menard as Nick landed a leaping cutter off the second rope, which looked great. Christian said there's nothing Nick can't do under his guidance, and he is his son. So they celebrated on the stage. They walk up the ramp, and all of a sudden, no music, nothing. Adam Copeland comes out and attacked Nick Wayne with a chair out of nowhere. He threw Kill Switch off the stage. I believe he was supposed to land through a table from what I saw. He landed straight over the fucking table. He just dumped him off the stage. So Christian started to back away. Shayna went for a low blow, but Copeland grabbed her arm and blocked the low blow. So
who's Shayna?
Shayna Wayne. Mama Wayne.
Ah, okay.
Right, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Mama Wayne. So Christian ran away at this point. Copeland had that one well scouted. I don't know. That might be a signature maneuver of hers. I don't know.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Shayna went for a low. Mama Wayne went for a low blow. And a chase ensues with Christian Cage and Adam Copeland through the backstage area, through what looked to be the locker rooms, and then out to the parking lot where he sees a lone SUV, a driver waiting there for somebody. He dumped him out of the fucking SUV, confiscated the SUV, and drove off while holding the TNT title out the window, waving it as he drove away. So Copeland at the end of that basically said that Christian's a little bitch, and we're not doing this anymore. We got to end it, and he'll face him in Toronto for the TNT title. But the thing is, Christian and Copeland 3 will be an I Quit match for the TNT Championship in Toronto in 2 weeks. I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
All right. I can do that.
Yeah.
You know, this is a blood feud. You can throw any kind of stipulation you want, you know, for that match, and it would, you know, completely make sense.
Yep.
You know, Luchasaurus is, you know, I thought he was going to be a bigger player in this, in his role in the company, but he is settling in well behind Christian Cage. Mama Wayne is killing it just by coming out looking the way that she does. Fantastic. I mentioned this to you last week, though. I feel like Nick Wayne. I feel like Nick Wayne has a bright future in front of him, man.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's very good.
Yeah,
he's very good. He is nothing exceptional as far as what he does. The one thing that is exceptional about him is that he's 18 goddamn years old. He's putty. He's gonna grow. He's gonna get more size. He's gonna get more experience, and that experience comes on TV, working with some of the best veterans this business has to offer. I think Nick Wayne, a good 10 years from now, the guy is still under 30. I think he'll be a well-seasoned, very, very, very accomplished talent in this company, man.
I remember when he was on the indies and coming up, and they gave him an AEW contract, and they couldn't do anything with him until he turned 18, people were claiming that he has the potential to be the next Will Ospreay.
Man,
you know, that's some high fucking praise right there.
That is high praise.
So.
And just the way that he moves, the way that he's carrying out this heel gimmick of his, the way that he sells, and the future that he has in front of him, there is nothing stopping him outside of catastrophic injury. Outside of that, I think he's gonna be something special in probably less than 10 years from now.
Carol 22 in the chat makes a good point. I like this comparison. Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day. You guys know Dominic Mysterio, the son of Rey Mysterio. He's playing the Dominic role of the patriarchy.
He really is.
Yeah.
He really and I've put over Dominic in his heel run over there. I think he's doing a fantastic job, man. And I think people expect too much from guys like this. I think they hold guys like Dominic Mysterio and Nick Wayne to the standard of seasoned vets who've been doing this for decades, man. These are babies. These are kids. And look how good that they are right now. I think that's fantastic, man. I think they're only going to get better.
Yeah. So we move on from that, and we go to Kyle O'Reilly, who was interviewed by Renee Paquette. He was there on Dynamite after making his return at Revolution on Sunday, hugging Roderick Strong, but not accepting the invitation to join the Undisputed Era Kingdom. She said that he was gone for nearly 2 years, which is unbelievable to even think about. She asked what he's going to do. O'Reilly said he hated to admit it, but for a while, he didn't think he'd ever wrestle again. And the reports from Fightful were kind of the same thing. AEW thought that they'd never get O'Reilly back because of the seriousness of his injury. He says he's grateful he's getting a second chance to do the only thing he was ever good at. He says he has great respect for the Undisputed Kingdom, but he's not sure what path to take because he's fallen so far. So he's going to do whatever he's got to do next for him on his own. Now, I don't think that stays, but we'll see what happens. I think he ends up joining the Undisputed Kingdom in the end. I mean, I just don't see him being by himself. Listen, take nothing away from Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly is a fantastic professional wrestler. But yes, we have seen and done that in NXT 2.0. Do you remember? I do, and I don't. So don't. Please. Yeah. Undisputed Kingdom, get him in there. Have this be one big troll job. Gain sympathy from him to make the heel turn eventually to join them again. A little bit more impactful, and let's move on with him there. That's where he belongs.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, I like that they're just not going to bring him in and toss him in. They're going to give us a little something to get him in there, which is fine. But I think the waters are too muddied and they're too deep for Kyle O'Reilly to get out there as a singles and survive. I think in the stable with his friends, he'll get plenty of TV time. He'll get time to shine. He'll get everything he needs. And then when that space opens up for a singles run down the road, we can revisit it. But he serves way more of a purpose in the Undisputed Kingdom right about now, though.
Yeah. Maybe he joins the Blackpool Combat Club, says someone in the chat. Nah.
No,
I think O'Reilly being a heel works best. I got to see rocking out on the belt, playing air guitar, Kyle O'Reilly. That's what we need.
Tag team. Put him back as a tag team.
Tag team specialist.
Man, put those guys in the tournament.
Yep.
Get them in there quick. Imagine.
Remember O'Reilly, bro. Remember O'Reilly and Roddy as a tag team on NXT, man? Remember that? Man. I do. Pepper Trum remembers.
Yes.
Holy absolutely, shit. Man. Those takeover bangers that we remember with Morrow on commentary, man. Oh my goodness.
Yep. Lorcan and Birch, man. One of my favorite tag teams of WWE history. Just my personal, loved it.
Moving on, we got a video package about Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks at Revolution. Highlights of what we saw Sunday, which was a tremendous main event, which then led us into the Nicholas and Matthew major announcements. Look at that. Video package leads into the next segment. Great.
A video package. What is going on here?
Wow.
This is amazing. And shout out to Mike Mansory. It's a damn good video package, man.
It was.
Good video package.
Shivani is in the ring. Said that was quite the entrance after the ass-kicking they took on Sunday after Nicholas and Matthew, their EVPs, made their entrance. Nicholas yanked the mic away from Shivani and told him to get out. We're moving past that, for God's sakes. He said Sting and Darby cheated. I don't know how you cheat in a no DQ match, but I mean, that's what they said. He says they brought their friends from the retirement home, and then they had Sting's sons, who happened to be 6'8" and 300 pounds, beat them up. Matthew told Nicholas to calm down. Nicholas said they ended Sting's career forever, so we'll take it as a victory. Meanwhile, they lost, and Sting retired, but they're taking it as a victory. He says they are entering themselves in the tag team tournament. Matthews then said, Matthew, not Matthews, not Buddy Matthews, Matthew Jackson said, on to today's agenda, we have two big announcements. So the first one is, it pertains to two of their dear friends. He said they are EVPs and they take their jobs seriously. We can't play favorites and our hands are forced. Hangman, you put our hands, you put your hands on two AEW officials and you cross the line. He says it's difficult to say, but they will be suspending him indefinitely from the Elite without pay. And then Tony Schiavone on commentary was like, the Elite pays?
Yeah, that's what everybody. The Elite gets paid? What the fuck?
He said, then there's the next announcement. I don't even know how we're going to say this one. He said, Kenny Omega, he disappeared off the face of the earth. You haven't made any of your dates for any reason, he says.
Deadbeat Kenny, man. Deadbeat Kenny.
Fucking guy's out with diverticulitis, and he hasn't made his dates for any reason, they say. So Excalibur says, he's been sick. Matt said Kenny's fired from any association with the Elite. He says he's sorry he had to find out via live television, and all of a sudden, Eddie Kingston's music interrupted the Young Bucks. Kingston made his way to the ring. He called Nicholas a hothead. He says if they're going to find people for talking shit about them, they might as well do it now. He takes out a wad of cash and throws it at the Young Bucks. Matthew gets involved and says, well, listen, we'll take this conversation offline. Let's go in the back and talk about it. Matthew stepped in between Kingston and Nicholas. He put his arm around Kingston. Nicholas then grabbed Kingston. When Kingston punched him, Matthew gave him a low blow. Nicholas then gave Kingston a super kick. And Schiavone then says, is this what the Young Bucks have become? Am I really seeing this? So they were about to deliver the EVP trigger. And all of a sudden, we got the coin drop. And the Rainmaker shows up on the big screen. Okada is out there. And he makes his way out. Officially begins work with AEW. Comes out looking sharp as a fucking thumbtack. And he's out there. The Rainmaker is now in AEW. Fans are chanting Okada. Kingston made a move towards the Young Bucks. Okada gets in the ring. He grabs him, and in a weird move, it looked like it was a little clunky. He tried to spin him around for a Rainmaker, and Eddie Kingston didn't know what was going on. Okada eventually turns him around and delivers a Rainmaker, and Kingston goes down like a sack of potatoes. He then gave a dead stare into the camera and loosened his tie. Nicholas said they forgot to announce the newest member of the Elite. Okada spread his arms out and put his foot on Kingston's chest. Matthew then dropped money over Okada. Taz called this shocking. Okada smiled and looked down at Kingston and then gestured that he wants the Continental Championship. Okada posed on the stage with the Jacksons, and a new Elite is now in AEW. I like it. I thought this was fantastic stuff. We already alluded to what we kind of dissected in this segment in the beginning of the show. I know some people had a problem with Okada turning heel, and I understand that if you are coming from New Japan and you were expecting a different version of Okada than the version you got tonight, I know that you might have your expectations rather disappointed, but I think this is a great way to introduce him to the American audience. The top of the card is going to be very heavy with baby faces. Omega's going to be back. Swerve is on the rise. MJF is coming back. The top of that card, Will Ospreay's there. Bro, the top of the card with baby faces is thick, right? So Okada as a heel is, to me, a perfect way to introduce him.
Awesome. I don't want to stay on this too long because we did start the show. If you guys are just joining or you missed it, we did cover this segment at the beginning of the stream, but no notes. I'm sorry, just no notes, man. This was done well.
Yeah.
This was done very well. It caught me off guard. And to anybody else who, who's a long-term wrestling fan for the most part, normally you can see heel turns coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And didn't see this one. This one caught me off guard. It's effective. I like it. It makes sense. And it opens up so many rivalries and feuds as it pertains to Hangman and Omega and the Bucks, and now with Okada. Great shit, man.
Yeah.
Great job. I thought this was a fantastic job introducing Okada to the American audience casuals. So no notes from me.
Okada is a heel. I like the way that they took a chance to introduce him to the American audience in a different presentation. Sets up a match and a title match right out of the gate for him with Eddie Kingston and the Continental Championship. It plants the seeds for Omega and Okada at All In when Omega is probably given the timetable to come back. And it doesn't take away from the baby faces at the top of the card, which right now you're looking at Swerve and Will Ospreay. It's not going to affect Swerve or Ospreay in any way by adding another baby face like Okada there. It gives them someone to work with in Okada as a heel. A lot happening here that I really, really like. The Young Bucks probably going to win those tag team titles. Okada probably going to win the Continental title. We got a new super group happening here, a new corporation in AEW. The Young Bucks continue to grow this heel run that they're on, and they continue to embrace it, becoming more obnoxious and get that fucking heel heat. So much to like about this, man. I know you might not like the Young Bucks, and they may turn you off for what they did previously with the whole Punk situation and all that stuff, but you got to give them some credit, man. They were the ones who wanted to put Sting over in his final match. They're killing it right now. This group is going to be fucking great. The television that's going to come out of this is great. A lot of good to come out of this segment. I have no complaints about it, man. Kudos to them.
No, this was done very well, man. I mean, for me and my preference of my pro wrestling, this was done to perfection.
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't like it for other reasons, I mean, I could probably understand that. But if you think it just completely sucked because it didn't go your way, you're an asshole. Okay.
Those who didn't like it aren't going to like it because you don't like the Young Bucks.
Exactly. You just
hate the Young Bucks for what they did, and that's not fair.
And I'll tell you what, you don't like this one. Wait till they bring Jack Perry back and put him in this fucking corporation stable.
You know, I made a comment about Jack Perry. He joined a group in New Japan, and I said, nobody gives a fuck. You know, if you want him back on television, bring him here, and I still like that idea, Jesse. I think him being here with them would be fucking fantastic. Yeah. Nobody's going to care about Jack Perry coming in by himself, being the scapegoat, wearing something that would be on the fucking cover of a Slipknot album. Give me a fucking break. Nobody cares about Jack Perry by himself. Nobody's going to give a shit. You pair him with these guys. Yeah. That's the way to go right there.
That's going to be the way to do it. I mean, look, I think it was a smart idea to put him over there. Let some of this heat of his die down a little bit. And keep him fresh, keep him ring ready and shit like that. I do think Jack will be back when they're ready for him, when they're ready to introduce him, and I think they'll put him with the Bucks. I think it'll be just fine. Let him continue drawing his heat, and he'll recover from this. He'll be all right. But I think put him in New Japan was actually a pretty smart move.
Moving on, Chris Statlander. She went one-on-one with Riho. This went 10 minutes. The ladies had a very good match. Riho was very good. I don't particularly care about Riho, but she had a very good match.
Did well. Yes.
She did well. Chris Statlander. We both thoroughly enjoy Chris Statlander, and she's very good. But like Jesse said in the beginning of this show, this wasn't about Riho. So for everybody asking, well, what is Riho doing on television? You know, this could have been anybody. This could have been fucking some Joe Schmo that they hired from Wawa.
Yes.
To go on television, from 7-Eleven to put her on television. It doesn't matter who was in there. It was about what happened with Statlander being handed the chain from Stokely and why she didn't use it.
Yep.
That was it.
That was it. They needed to put Stat in the ring with someone who could beat her, take a W, and have it be credible. So no, I don't want to put her in there with an enhancement talent. I don't. I mean, I want this segment, I want this gimmick to get over, but I don't want to fucking make Stat look bad by losing to a former women's champion. There's no shame in that.
No.
And the story is she took her eyes off the prize. She got unfocused. She didn't make the decision that she probably should have made. And deep down, she probably knew she should have made it. And we're getting our Chris Statlander slow burn of a heel turn. Stop focusing on what Riho did in the match because she did not suck. She didn't botch anything. She's just not your cup of tea, which is okay. But she's not the focus, all right? She didn't win the world title. She's in this match tonight to help get the storyline over for Stat and Stokely. And I think she did fine for that role.
Yes. Advocate in the chat. Shout out to Wawa. They have very good coffee. Yes. Yes, guys, get your mind out of the gutter as well. The real meat madness is Chris Statlander. Yes, I get it.
Man.
I get it. Please. We got a show to conduct. I'm gonna need you guys to calm down, okay?
Stat in that ring with Riho looking like before and after. Man.
The thoughts and opinions are of the Chi-Town Smart and only the Chi-Town Smart.
Give me the after. My God.
I'll take Sky Blue. Anyway, listen, this was a very good match. We go to commercial break. Riho battled out of a corner, tried a crossbody, but easily was caught by Stat into a gorilla press into the commercial. Riho fought back, double stomp to the back, low drop kick. Riho hit a impressive Northern Lights with a bridge for a cover and a 2 count. And then she went up top and rolled through on a double stomp attempt. Statlander leveled Riho with a lariat. Riho popped up for Hurricane Rana, Tiger feint kick. That was before Stat rolled through a top rope crossbody, but Riho responded with a dragon suplex for 2. Riho is quietly very powerful for her size. Stat countered a charging knee into a powerbomb stack for a near fall. Stokely placed the chain in the ring and took the referee and distracted the ref at this point. Stat took the chain, but threw it away after contemplating. Should I?
I was watching right there like, oh, come on, use it.
Yeah. Riho tried a Cazadora. Stat counted into a wheelbarrow German. Statlander tried it again, but Riho counted into a roll-up for the flash fluky pin. 1, 2, 3. Taz said Stat should have used the chain. She would have won the match, but that's the story here. That is the story. Stokely, Jesse, is trying to get both Stat and Willow to cheat to win, but they won't. So my question to you is, when they start accumulating L after L after L, who's going to be the first one to say, you know what, I need to turn my luck around? Yep. Stokely's got the right idea. Who is going to use the chain first?
I'm hoping for Stat, man. It makes the most sense. I think she'll be a fantastic. I even texted during this match. I wonder if anybody else, chat, let me know if anybody else saw this. Did you see any heel tendencies in Stat's moveset tonight? I did. And she looked a little heelish in some of her spots tonight. I was kind of peeking it, man. I kind of like it, man. I want to see Stat go heel. I want to see Willow be the goody two shoes baby face, and they can definitely get into a feud. I can see Willow and Stat coming together for a match at Wembley. I don't know if it'd be their first. That'd be a long time to carry it out.
Yeah,
but maybe it'll be for a title at that point too. Who knows?
So after this match, we got a promo. We got Tony Storm promo, and then we got a Willow, Stokely, and Renee promo backstage. But we'll go to the Stokely and Willow promo first, because that's kind of what we're talking about here. Renee was interviewing Stokely and Willow backstage. She asked what went wrong out there. Stokely said Stat wanted to do things her way, and she is his favorite, which then Willow gave him a weird look, and she wishes he would just give her the chain and she would accept the help from the ones who love her the most. Renee said a Big Business Willow will go one-on-one with Riho. Willow was excited by this news and said she's going to do things her way, so she let Stokely know, I don't want any shenanigans out there. I'm going to do this my way because this is the former AEW Women's Champion, and I want to be a champion myself, and it would be great if I beat the former champion. She said she is going to come after Julia Hart after that and become the TBS champion and win the TBS championship. So I am going to go on and say I think Willow is going to be the one to turn here. Yeah.
But I like this. Remember when this first started coming around and you were like, well, why isn't this on Dynamite? Like, I don't know, but it should be, because they were holding this on. Yeah, here we are.
Someone's listening.
This should be on fucking Wednesday night. This was being held on Rampage and on the Collision. This is a great fucking women's feud that does not involve a title. This should be front and center.
Yes.
I love it.
Jennifer Pepperman, I could see Jennifer Pepperman sitting down at the creative meetings. What other storylines do we have in the women's division? So They bring this to the forefront, and then she's like, all right, let's get this on the show. This seems fun. This seems, great. Where there's no title on the line, let's get this out in the forefront. You know, we got Mercedes coming in next week. We're gonna start building the TBS title. We're gonna start building Mercedes to come on in. Tony's probably gonna have a new challenger soon. Listen, everything's flowing.
I like it.
Everything's flowing.
I like it a lot.
Renee interviewed Toni Storm backstage and asked how she felt about her win over Deonna Purrazzo. Tony asked Renee, what season is it? Renee said, it's almost spring. Tony says, oh, you're almost smart. She said it's award season, specifically Tony season with an I, so we don't want to get sued. She gave Mariah May her first merchandise shirt, which is basically Mariah May wearing old school Toni Storm attire, which I have to admit is just just fucking sexy as fuck. Dude. I don't give a shit. She looks so good there. And she basically cut Toni Storm off and finished Toni Storm's catchphrase. They kind of embraced, and Mariah May has a match on Collision. There you go. So whatever Toni Storm is doing, I don't know. Where's Jamie Hayter? Where's Britt? Is it going to be Mercedes and Tony? I don't know.
So Mariah May had a match on Collision last week.
Yeah.
I actually forgot who it was against. I think it was maybe an enhancement talent, maybe.
Yeah.
She did not look bad.
No, she didn't look bad when I saw her wrestle the last time she wrestled.
Yeah, she did not look bad, man. She looked good. She looked good out there. She looked better than I anticipated her being with the way that she was presented to us when she first came into the company.
Yeah.
So it kind of caught me off guard, and I'm kind of just watching it like ready to not like it because I just didn't like the presentation. But I'm watching this and like, it's pretty damn good, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good. I can't fucking deny it, man. And as I was talking earlier about the summer for the women coming up, I failed to mention Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, they have it all, man. They have it all set. For the longest of time, the Knockouts division in TNA has been praised as the best women's division around. I feel like this summer AEW is going to take that throne because right now there is nothing popping with the Knockouts, and right now AEW looks like they're about to be fucking white hot this summer with the women. So I can't wait.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Darby. Tony Schiavone was out there with Darby Allin in the ring. He came out with the AEW Tag Team title that he had, not Sting's, only one title, and a bat. Tony Schiavone asked him what things will be like in AEW without Sting. Allin said it won't be easy. As 5 years ago, and 40 minutes from the arena, he was homeless and cut to Sunday. He's main eventing with Sting in his retirement match, giving Sting the farewell he deserved. Allen's beat up. He's tired. And after his match with Switchblade, he's going off to climb Mount Everest. Allin says he's speaking from the heart. There's no guarantee he comes back alive from climbing Mount Everest, and thanks the crowd for giving him the ability to live his dream.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sounds like a goddamn shoot.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy to even think about. That is legitimately a shoot there. He legitimately might not come back alive.
Why is he doing it?
Because he's a fucking crazy maniac. That's why.
It's like, y'all fucking white people, man. I don't know about y'all.
Allin says he's speaking from the heart. After Mount Everest, he might not come back alive. Next week might be his last wrestling match. Allin said if next week is his last match ever, he'll go out fighting for his life. As for the AEW Tag Team Championship, people ask why you won't defend it with a new partner. It's because you can't replace the icon known as Sting, and he put the title down. Bullet Club Gold music hits, and out comes Jay White with the guns. No acclaimed, thank God. Not that I dislike the Acclaim or Jesse dislikes the Acclaim. We just hate the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
We just hate the fucking collaboration. It's awful. It is so fucking cringe.
This is a musical collaboration that shouldn't exist. Okay? So he congratulated him face-to-face on a great night at Revolution. Allin sacrificed himself to make sure Sting retired as champion. Jay White said it was kind of stupid of Allin to crash down off a ladder through glass, leaving Sting all by himself to fight the Young Bucks. Jay White says he's heard about it. He didn't watch it, as he doesn't care. Sting is gone. What is Darby Allin without Sting? He's like a lost puppy without someone to feed him treats and hold his leash. White says they don't need to have this match next week, as no one would think less of Allin for bailing after everything he's been through spiritually, physically, and emotionally. So at this point, he puts his hand on Darby's chest. Darby bats him away. White says he's capable of doing so much worse to Darby Allin and invites him to hang out with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Join the group. We already have a name for you. It's called Darby Scissorhands. Allin cuts White off and says he's won titles all over the world only to come to AEW and play with cardboard cutouts. What exactly have you done here, says Darby Allin. Allin doesn't believe the hype and said, if White is as good as he thinks he is, come to next week's match by yourself. White went to go charge in. Allin held the bat up to Jay White's neck and said he'll see White in Boston at Big Business. This was effective because it sold next week's match when the match itself was basically made on Sunday after Revolution at the post-show scrum by Tony Khan, cold. So it gave it some meaning at least, or an explanation as to why it's happening. But I will say this, Jesse, as far as this match is concerned, it should be a great match. Jay White more than likely will go out on top here. This could probably be the way that they kind of resuscitate Jay White after fan criticism of him being down in the dumps here with the Acclaimed and the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. The only thing I would say about this is that it went on too long. I just felt like it went on forever, and we didn't need all that explanation to get this match next week.
Bro, I'm so pissed at Grizz Company main right now because I was waiting for you to finish talking.
Yeah.
So I could ask you what was better, Darby Scissorhand or Diarrhea Dwayne?
Darby Scissorhands.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yes, Jesse actually thought, he texted me and didn't believe Diarrhea Dwayne was a real thing. He asked me, please tell me Triple H took the night off and Bruce Pritchard wrote the show. I'm like, no, I didn't hear any reports about Bruce Pritchard being in charge of running the show. So Vince McMahon's back. No, Vince McMahon ain't back. This was a Triple H run Monday Night Raw.
Diarrhea Dwayne.
Diarrhea Dwayne.
That is the worst thing since Suffering Succotash, bro.
I mean, I don't know who's writing this shit. I don't know if it's Seth. I don't know if it's Brian Gewirtz. I don't know if it's Dwayne himself. But, man, man, Dwayne has buried Seth Rollins more and more every week, man. And after Diarrhea Dwayne, Rollins has been doing great work on the microphone to build to that WrestleMania match. But, my God, man, that made Rollins take at least 4 steps back.
I legit, honestly, did not know anything about that promo. I didn't watch the show at all. I opened my Twitter, and I looked to see what's trending, and I saw Diarrhea Dwayne. And I'm just looking at it like, what? So that's when I text you. Like, what is going on here? And he told me, I think I said, like, look, bro, you don't have to fucking lie to me. You can just tell me the truth or just tell me you don't know. Like, no, I'm serious. He said that. Like, he called this guy Diarrhea Dwayne.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about Suffering Succotash, man. Who wrote that shit?
I don't know, but they need to be fired immediately.
My God. This is during the WrestleMania build?
Nothing is worse than Diarrhea Dwayne. Give me a break. I'll take Darby Scissorhands any day of the week.
Oh, my God.
Moving on. 2 lovely ladies. We love Sky Blue and Julia Hart. They're backstage saying the worst feeling in the world isn't loneliness, it's being forgotten. Willow Nightingale seemed to forget who Julia Hart is, the queen of the Black Throne. Hart said on Rampage she's issuing an open challenge or an open house match to remind anyone who the TBS champion is. Enough with the open challenges, please.
Now wait. I'll shit on this open challenge if this open challenge is for the TBS title, because I don't think she specifically said that, did she?
No.
So if it's just a non-title match, fine. But no fucking just random fucking impromptu title matches. That's bullshit. Why do you have a ranking system?
I don't know.
If the champion wants a match and she wants to have an open challenge, feel free. But you don't get to pick your fucking championship contender because there is a ranking system.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
We'll see.
So after that, we got the House of Black. They are shown addressing Mark Briscoe, saying they'll fight fire with fire. Buddy Matthews, I don't believe we got the House of Black on the fucking Dynamite here. Holy shit. Buddy Matthews says they will set Briscoe ablaze, while Brody King says his wars with the Briscoe brothers have left scars on their bodies they'll never forget, and Saturday on Collision, history will repeat itself. Malachi Black said the pain Briscoe feels, they'll make sure it's surpassed in the pain they afflict upon him. Brody then said, let them know if they need to dig one more grave or 3. Julia Hart caps it off by singing Johnny Cash's And It Burns, 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 the Ring of Fire. Listen, man, I'm enjoying this feud for whatever it is. Honestly, I think it's good stuff. And I'm glad that we actually got, I don't believe it, we got a fucking promo setting up the match and the feud that's going to happen on Saturday. You might actually get me to watch Saturday Night Collision.
I'm covering it.
There you go.
Join me. I'm covering the post show. So, Collision last week was not great. So
no,
I mean,
that's why I don't do it on a weekly basis. When it's an important show, I'll do it.
Yeah, it is just not great. I got high hopes for this week, so we shall see.
Renee Paquette is then shown with Mark Briscoe, who says he doesn't need any partners. He'll face all three of the House of Black in Atlanta in an Atlanta street fight. Jay Lethal walks in, because this is a tape show, by the way, on Saturday, I believe, right? Or is it live?
Tonight?
The Collision show.
Oh, Collision. Oh, I'm not sure. It was taped last week, so hopefully not.
All right. Jay Lethal walks in and says he's got Briscoe's back, as Briscoe says not to bring Jeff Jarrett, but Lethal, what better person for a street fight than Jarrett, who Briscoe doesn't have to trust? He just has to fight by his side. So Excalibur then questioned whether Jarrett even knows what Lethal got himself into. So there you go. Jay Lethal needs to be on his own. I don't know why we're still fucking hanging around with the Jarrett Clown Brigade here. It's just ridiculous.
I don't know. I thought we were getting him on his own. Between that tournament and the breakup that happened after it, and then the second breakup that we had, now they're still together. I mean,
Saturday is a tape show. Okay. That's why he said in an Atlanta street fight. So I'm assuming they're taping it after or before tonight's show.
Is it? Oh, no, it's a
taped. I hate tape shows.
I think it depends. So what are they gonna fucking do? Collision and then Rampage? They usually do Rampage after.
A long night. Whoever's in that crowd tonight. Oh my god.
Collision, Rampage, and Dynamite all in one fucking night.
Yeah.
Why? What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe what are we? Are we in NBA playoff season yet or no?
No, it sounds like they're cutting costs and trying to save money on fucking doing extra shows.
College basketball? Maybe? I don't know.
What difference does it make though? If it's coming up, if it's coming on at the same spot,
Collision is taped tomorrow. Okay, so they'll do Dynamite and Rampage and then Collision tomorrow. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, all right, there we go. So not so bad then.
Not bad.
I still don't know why they're taping it if it's coming on in the same spot though.
I don't know. Whatever. Main event: Will Ospreay back in AEW, this time full time, against the Ring of Honor TV champion, Kyle Fletcher. These two are former comrades in the United Empire over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, Kyle Fletcher's with the Don Callis family, and Will Ospreay, apparently, for now, is still with the Don Callis family until he's not.
Until he's not.
Don Callis himself was on commentary here. This was a fucking phenomenal main event. The only problem that I have with this is three things, actually. And it's going to sound like I didn't like the match. The match was fucking incredible. Anything Will Ospreay does is fucking just unbelievable.
Well, there's probably a ton of people who had no idea who Kyle Fletcher was.
Well, now you know after tonight.
Now you know how good the guy is.
Couple of things here, guys, before we get into the breakdown of the match. Number one, this match was very similar to what we saw with Takeshita on Sunday. Okay? Near falls, kickouts, match probably should have ended fucking 5 minutes after or 5 minutes before it did. Similar format to the Takeshita match. Okay? That's something that's going to have to change over time. Secondly, I don't know how Will Ospreay is going to wrestle this style. If this is the style he's going to wrestle every single time he's out there, I mean, you're looking at fucking an injury waiting to happen. And it's not going to be something where he's going to be out a couple of weeks. It's going to be fucking 6, 9, 12 months. I mean, the style he wrestles it's not like anything that people have fucking seen here, on a regular basis. So I don't know how they're going to work around that. Third, the one thing I said on Sunday is that Will Ospreay is to AEW, or should be what Cody Rhodes is to WWE. Will Ospreay should be that to AEW. I don't know when or where or how that's going to happen, but it's got to happen. He doesn't need to wrestle this style every week. I get it. He's a new toy. He's a shiny new toy in Tony Khan's fucking toy chest. I get it. But I don't want to see him wrestle until the pay-per-view. Have him come out there, cut a promo, have him build a story, have him build dialogue, and then save this type of match for the pay-per-view, whomever he's going to be wrestling. That's all I have to say there. I don't know how you feel about it, Jesse, but, seeing Will Ospreay is great, but I don't want to see Will Ospreay every week wrestle like this, because then the appeal is going to wash away very quickly.
So the only compromise we might get for that is just not having Will Ospreay wrestle on a weekly basis because if you know anything about Will Ospreay, there's two settings. There's on and there's off.
Yeah.
He's either wrestling or he's not. That's just the way Ospreay works, man. So if he's wrestling, then you're getting full Ospreay mode, and to limit that, you can limit how many times he goes out there to work. But I do agree, he does work a style, and that's why he has a lot of injuries, man. He works a style where a major injury could come at a heartbeat, man, because he puts himself through some pretty dangerous spots. But I've never seen a toned down Will Ospreay match, bro.
No.
I've never seen a toned down, let's play it safe Will Ospreay match. He's either on or off. So, like you said, cut some promos, do some beat down angles, stuff like that. But if you put him in a match, then he's going all out, man. That's just how he works.
This is why I'd love to be invited to one of these scrums again after their initial dislike with me. I'd love to ask Will Ospreay, what does he do to maintain that body? Like, I wonder how this man wakes up. Like, how did he wake up after that match on Sunday with Takeshita? There's no way he's waking up feeling, well, yeah, I'm ready to go, man. Rise and shine. Let me make up a cup of coffee and fucking sit down and read the newspaper at the table. No, it's like, this guy's fucking probably crawling out of bed, fucking aching from bone to bone. What does he do to maintain himself and get himself in top peak physical condition? I mean, that guy's got to be ravaged with fucking soreness all over his body.
At any given point, man. I mean, any wrestler will easily tell you they always work hurt. We get that, but it just seems like a guy like Will Ospreay and his work rate will keep him hurt forever. I mean, just kind of the same with Kenny Omega. We didn't get Kenny Omega wrestling, every week.
Yep.
So they kind of limited him and when he would go out there. But Kenny Omega doesn't go out and give pay-per-view performances for TV shows.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay does.
Yeah.
So we'll see. This could just be, hey, this is my shiny new toy. This is what you can look forward to if you get the pay-per-view to see him work. Maybe we don't get this from him every time he's on TV. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Match was fantastic. Great main event. You would think Kyle Fletcher, who the fuck is that? Now you know who Kyle Fletcher is. Now you know what Will Ospreay is capable of if he missed the pay-per-view, which that Takeshita match was like a fucking 8-star match. Fast opening sequence here. Her and Karana, chops. Fletcher reversed a corner whip. Ospreay hit hard. He went down. We go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Ospreay mounted a comeback and leveled Fletcher with a slingshot dive. Fletcher dodged an os cutter into a half and half before being leveled with a corner enziguri and a brainbuster for 2. So we fast forward here. We go into a second commercial break, which was the final commercial break of the night. Ospreay wanted hidden blade. Fletcher dodged into a corner snake eyes on the middle turnbuckle, not the top turnbuckle, the middle turnbuckle. Both rolled to the apron. Fletcher wanted a tombstone. Ospreay wiggled out, and he got an os cutter on the edge of the ring. We go into the final commercial break of the evening. So we're back from break. Both guys are trading forearms in the ring. Ospreay switched to chops. Fletcher goes down. Callis says he feels like a proud older brother watching both of these men. Both men traded tombstone attempts until Ospreay turns it into a beautiful poison rana. Fletcher cut off a leap of faith from Ospreay. Tried an avalanche dragon suplex. Ospreay landed on his feet, which was fucking ridiculous. Fletcher charged in, was planted with a Liger bomb for a 2. Fletcher spun out of a Stormbreaker into a butterfly driver, followed by a sit-out last ride for a 2 count. Fletcher to corner kick, tried for a top rope brainbuster. Ospreay slid out and connected on an avalanche poison rana. Hidden blade. Fletcher was turned inside out. Somehow he kicked out of the hidden blade. Then we get some Kawada kicks from Ospreay. Fletcher rose to his feet. He ate another big kick from Ospreay. Ospreay went over the top. Both avoided power bombs and hook kicks until Fletcher hit a big thrust kick. Ospreay hit a beautiful Spanish fly, os cutter, only for Fletcher to kick out again. Crowd is going crazy at this point. Fletcher got to his knees and told Ospreay, please put me out of my misery. And he did. Hidden blade, knocked him out. 1, 2, 3, and Will Ospreay wins his second AEW match officially as a roster member of AEW. Ospreay and Callis checked on Fletcher post-match. All of a sudden, Bryan Danielson's music hit. He comes to the ring. He gets in the ring. We get Ospreay having his back turned to Bryan. He's looking back at Bryan. Bryan is there staring at Will Ospreay, and the show goes off the air with legitimately two of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time in the ring, staring at each other to close AEW Dynamite. When and where is this match happening? I don't fucking know, but you can take every fucking card that I have in my Ridge wallet and do what you want with it. Sign me up. If this is happening at Dynasty, bro, we may be looking at one of the greatest matches ever in the history of pro wrestling.
Bro, this is why Bryan Danielson left WWE. And the reason why he hasn't gone back and probably won't go back until he's ready to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Matches like this. This is all he wanted. He just wanted to work against the best, man. That's all he ever wanted. If WWE would have given this guy permission to go work New Japan, I sincerely believe he would have stayed in WWE.
Yeah.
They wouldn't allow him. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to leave. And I think he's living out his dream. I think Bryan Danielson is on a mission to completely fill his bucket list before he retires from full-time competition, man. And we're getting it. We're here for it. Love it.
No, it's not happening at Big Business. Then there's no way that match is happening
No,
anywhere but a pay-per-view.
It's not happening next week. Are you guys crazy?
No. Now, the issue I have with it, and yes, I do have a minor issue. Like I said on Wednesday or Sunday, rather, I do not want Tony Khan to blow through these rematches. I hope that if this is the start of something, it's March 7th. Big Business is next week, and Dynasty is until April 21st. We got 5 weeks, 6 weeks. There is plenty of time for dialogue. There's plenty of time for story. And it doesn't have to be one match. We can get 2 matches out of it if they want to build a story. So we'll see what happens there. But my God, man, Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay, holy shit.
I do believe TK is working against Bryan's clock because he has made it very vocal about he's getting ready to retire from.
He mentioned May, so May will be here before you know it.
Yeah, so he's trying to get it in while he can. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give him that much. I mean, Bryan has openly said he's getting ready to wind down and call it a career. Now, he did say he's going to wind down from full-time competition. Bryan could go away for a few months and decide he wanted to come back and do a dream match, but he could also decide to not work anymore either. So we don't know. Nothing's for sure.
Yeah, but if that match is happening in the next 6 weeks, holy shit, man. That is going to be unbelievable. But Dynamite, man, it felt like a reset. It genuinely felt like a reset. It felt like a season premiere. It felt like they finally got all of their wheels in motion. And I think this was one of the more consistent, story-driven Dynamites that we've seen in a very long time. Excellent show tonight.
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into these super chats in just a second. Thank you so much for the 2,500 people that joined us here tonight on Off the Script. Hit that thumbs up. We need 125 likes. If we could get to 1,000. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We're going to get into them in just a moment. Follow me on social media at JD from NY 206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell for notifications. Go follow Jesse on X at Chi-Town Smark. Go click the link. Click his name in the description at the top. It'll take you right to his YouTube channel. And please hit that subscribe button over there as well. And make sure you guys go check out all the other content that I put on my channel. Plenty of it, including last night's episode 38 of Tuesday Night Titans. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Good day, JD and Jesse. Thank you for the podcast. Thank you, Michael. Not today, Jay, with 18 months. Happy 18 months, JD. You're bringing me joy today because this morning my grandfather passed away. Thank you for being you. Cheers. Jay, my thoughts and prayers are with your family. And
sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that, brother. Sinister Classic with 17 months. Greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. The greatest trick Cole pulled was convincing the world he was injured. I think Cole is going to reveal that he's not really injured anymore. Maybe it's next week.
I think he's going to stay in that wheelchair until he's miraculously ready to, work again.
Yeah, the wheelchair is a nice heel crutch, you know?
Yeah.
Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. We can have an elite civil war if Kenny comes back. Yeah. I don't want it to feel samey though, because we've seen Kenny bring, Coda back and team with Coda. We leading to Kenny, Hangman, and Kota Ibushi versus Okada and the Young Bucks. I mean, we've seen something very similar to that. We don't need to see that again.
That also sounds like it gives Hangman some direction when he comes back away from Swerve in that title too.
Yep. Tone C with a $10 super chat. How long till Mercedes walks out of AEW? The booking isn't the only thing the only thing wrong with the women's division. Do we all remember Big Swole, Thunder Rosa, and Lufisto situations? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Tone C, I think you're being negative for the sake of being negative, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. I can find negativity in anything if I try hard enough.
Yep.
And with all of the good things on the horizon for the women's division, it seems like you're just focused on trying to find something bad to talk about, man. I mean, you're not wrong, but right now, the way the projections are looking, things are looking better than they are looking bad. So why are you anticipating the worst?
Big Swole, Thunder Rose, and Lufisto, man. Those are three separate situations that are not prevalent in this women's division right now. So I don't know why you have to bring up that. Shame on you, man. Thank you for the $10, though. Jamel Turney with a $1.99. Jesse, is DM Hunk your favorite wrestler right now? Drew McIntyre, yeah.
But I'm definitely thoroughly enjoying Drew's work.
Yeah. Drew Gilmore, what's up, buddy? 18 months. Hey, JD and Jesse, I need the OTS family to send me some good vibes and prayers. I have an interview tomorrow for an internship to finally put my MBA to use. Brother, you are going to fucking kill it tomorrow.
There you go, man. And hey, if nothing else, I hear WWE hires interns.
Pause.
Okay, there we go.
Eric Aviles with 16 months. I loved everything on Dynamite today. Changes were clearly noticeable. Thank you, JD and Jesse, the best podcast in the whole community. Acknowledge them. Thank you, brother. Hero with a $2 super chat. Will, by God, Ospreay. Love it. Kel Mickens with a $9.99. Guys, I wish I could be your Dr. Phil. I appreciate you guys. I hope you find solace in the podcast. But Kel says, JD, my girlfriend just broke up with me and I'm crushed. I'm lost, hurt, and broken. The only thing keeping me up is your stream. Thank you for all that you do. I hope I can overcome this gut punch. You always do, Kel. I've been through shit that I would never wish upon anybody, man. You'll get over it. You'll move on, man.
Her loss. Date her sister. Does she have a sister?
Bro, if God is taking you from them, if God is taking you away from them now, that is him telling you that they are not right for your future. That's all I'll say.
If she has a sister or a best friend, as JD reads the next super chat, me and Clucky will demonstrate what you should do.
All right, bro. You're going to get me demonetized. Tribal Chief with the $2 super chat. AW was good, JD. Thank you for all you do. OTS for life. Tribal Chief. Thank you, brother. Fixes a bind with the $2 super chat. 11 out of 10 main event. AEW back on top. Jason, thank you, brother, for the 100 super chat. Hush with a $4.99. We're getting Ospreay and Danielson Rock back in the ring in a month. I feel bad if you're a tribalistic geek. Both sides eating good. Great show, guys. Thank you, Hush. Yes, and you are correct. Positivity. Sinister Classic with a $5 super chat. What a night. Kenny being fired. Okada heel. Promo by Jay White. And the main event was insane. Can't wait for next week. Keep this momentum. Hashtag OTS. Thank you, Sinister. Tony Brown with a $4.99. Not saying anything inappropriate tonight. Just saying hi to my favorite IWC team, the Uncaped Crusaders.
What?
I don't look good in a cape, bro. Just give me a baseball cap, okay?
Oh, I need a Tony Brown comment. What is this?
Billy Sizane with a $20 super chat. Okada vs. Bryan, sign me up. And then Billy goes on to donate $100 in super chat. Can't wait for Mercedes Moné next week. You know it, brother. I can't wait to see that woman.
No, Yuri, I did not get this from Issa. Issa got the Clucky idea from me.
Yes.
I had the first Clucky.
You know what? I have the third Clucky.
You wouldn't get a Clucky? I can't see it yet. You gotta give me a second freaking YouTube latency.
No, I won't be doing inappropriate things like you did.
Hey, it wasn't inappropriate. I was just, you know how they take a kid and so, oh my God, you got a Clucky too. What the fuck? You know how they tell a kid, show me where that guy touched you. And then, then you don't show it.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, we're getting demonetized for sure.
Golden Boy with a $20 super chat. I watched the new season premiere of Dark Side of the Ring about John Earthquake Tenta. Man, Vince McMahon's a piece of shit. Did nothing for that man after his dedication to the business. I hate Vince. Check it out if you can. I didn't know they started those yet, man. I have to watch it. I was a big Earthquake fan. I was a big Natural Disasters fan.
Yes, I watched that. It's a very good episode. I don't know how to start. I want to say in Vince's defense, but there's not really a way to say it that way. I'll say this. I don't think Vince did anything to Earthquake specifically. That was just how he treated the fucking all of the talent, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he was taking care of all the talent, but then he said, fuck Earthquake. He treated everybody like that. Like they were just, they were third party workers. They were contracted, he didn't care. And he was he was trying to save money.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it eventually. Vincent Moore with a $5 super chat. Just left from Dynamite. It was a good show tonight. Fletcher vs. Ospreay was epic. The Okada turn was a good shock. The tease of Bryan vs. Ospreay was great. Yeah, it was a great show, man. It came off great on television. Robert Lamoa with a 5. I get it. Swerve is hot, but does he need to win the title anytime soon? A guy like Samoa Joe should have a 6-month title reign on his character at least.
Who said that?
Robert Lamoa.
Robert, have you ever heard the term strike while the iron is hot? Ask Wardlow what he thinks about waiting and doing it later.
Yeah.
You do it now, because who's to say that momentum will still be there later? He's white hot, bro. He's the champion that the fans are clamoring for. Who's to say that won't change? Wardlow, people wanted Wardlow to be champion. Right now, they're saying fuck Wardlow. You do it later, and it doesn't matter anymore, and it won't get over. Do it now. Joe's a fucking boss, dude. Joe is a fucking killer, and whenever you want to put Joe at the top of your company, it fits. Joe can come back. Not a big deal. Joe's awesome, man.
Robert, thank you, brother. Hopefully that was a good explanation for you. Jacob Sims with a 17 months. Streets of Cage was his theme on Sunday. A play on Streets of Rage. You mean Brian Cage? He's talking about Brian Cage. Yeah, I guess Brian Cage is a fighting enthusiast.
Okay, so he wasn't Wolverine. He was actually a Streets of. Okay,
yeah.
All right. On the last one, okay. But this time he was fucking Wolverine.
20-minute promo for that 13 months. Will Ospreay versus Jeff Hardy at Wembley is going to cook harder than burnt toast. Joking, of course. I'm not a. You're fucking crazy if you even think that's going to be the case. Cheers to both of you. Great show. Thank you, promo.
Awesome.
Called himself a masochist.
Okay.
I'm not a masochist, he says. Well, who wants to see Jeff Jarrett versus Will Ospreay? Robert Lamoa with a $5 super chat. Remember when Bobby Fish got injured and Roderick took over and still ended up being a good tag team match? Well, Bobby Fish was a great wrestler.
Well, where's the lie?
He's just an idiot who said he'd go to war for Triple H under an AEW contract. Fired. You want to get under Tony Khan's skin? Make a comment like that. You'll never be brought back again.
Where's the lie?
Jerry with a $10 super chat. Great refresh for AEW, but JD and Jesse, please remember the material for the show is pre-planned in advance. Everything you guys complain about, the fixes are already in motion. It just has to play out. What?
What?
That does not make any sense at all, Jerry. Yeah, the fix is in, right? All the things that I complained about with Monday Night Raw when Vince was there, right? Did they ever fix it? No. It took Vince McMahon to get fucking, ousted by the Wall Street Journal for changes to be made. Come on.
No, bro. The change happened when the pay-per-view happened and they started changing direction towards No one planned on putting on horrible shows for weeks.
No.
That was not the plan. Okay, we're gonna suck for these weeks, but on on the 5th, we're gonna put on a banger of a show. No.
Jay and Joe's World with a 199. Do you think Sting will be back? No. Will Chisholm with a 5.
Appearances.
He maybe is something, but he's not going to wrestle anymore.
No, I don't see him wrestling anymore. I meant to bring this up earlier too. I think everything that AEW did for Sting was 100% worth it, if nothing else, for Darby Allin.
Yeah.
I think Darby Allin's gonna be a legit star in the very, very, very immediate future.
If he survives Mount Everest.
If he survives Mount Everest. Darby's talented, and without Sting, Darby would have, definitely been a fan favorite. But I think for what Sting did for him, I think he put him over to the point where he's undeniable, man.
Will Chisholm with a $5 super chat. It feels like Tony may book Will Ospreay to work some weeks in the ring, and Okada may work the pay-per-view and the big matches. Midmo Smark. $10 super chat. Figures I've been kind of sick, and JD and Jesse made fun of my hot toddies. I couldn't help myself in the AEW Dynasty tickets. Got them. Tickets where, again, I'll be flying to the OTS. Oh, I'll be flying the OTS banner. OTS for life. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man. I just remember my grandfather talking about hot toddies a long time ago. That's such an old school remedy, man.
Will Chisholm with a 5. In April, we can see Bayley win a title at Mania and Mercedes winning a title at Dynasty. Would be great.
Yeah.
This Gaming Dragon with a 2. Darby about to look like the start of Mr. Deeds. That was a great movie. Jimmy Belenko. What?
About to look like the dude from The Price is Right that goes up the scale.
Oh, cliffhanger.
There you go.
Yeah. Jimmy Belenko with a $5 super chat. Was it me who noticed the Young Bucks saying they fired Kenny and suspended Hangman from the Elite, not from AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to fix that in the title.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more eye-catching if I put fired from AEW. Phil with a $9.99, and we'll end with this. I thought Dynamite was an amazing show. All I have to say is this. I respect Darby for not wanting to find a new partner because you can't replace Sting. Good luck to him as he climbs Mount Everest. It's going to be tough. I think they recorded their most deaths ever last year.
How does it? Why?
I don't know. I read somewhere online somewhere that they mark the counters because they see, or they know where they are on the mountain because of the dead bodies that still remain there.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Bro! Being a professional wrestler is not enough. That's not enough adrenaline for that.
All right.
He is a death wish. Oh God.
Anyway, guys, we're about to get out of here. I appreciate you all hanging out for this great discussion tonight. For what was a great Dynamite.
Great show.
Great show. Hopefully we do the same again next week. And next time you see me live will be on Friday when Seth Rollins, the king of diarrhea, is there with Cody Rhodes and The Rock. They'll be on SmackDown with Roman Reigns. Will we get any more answers going into WrestleMania? I don't know, but I don't want to know about Seth Rollins' bowel movements.
Oh my God.
Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Follow Jesse at the Shottown Smark, or at Shottown Smark rather, on X. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel under the same name.
And my Instagram at the real Shottown Smark.
Oh my God, because there's a fake one.
Yeah, man, some asshole took my name.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, he started it after I started streaming on YouTube, too. He legit took my name.
And go check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it. Please hit that thumbs up. We need 50 more likes for 1,000. Let's get them up. Thank you guys very much for all your support. We will see you back next week, right here for AEW. And next time you see me, we'll be live Friday night after SmackDown right here on Off the Script. We will see you guys later.